Welcome to episode 53 of the Current Backloggers. The date is February 10th. I am your host, Casey P., along with my good friend and co-host, Cody G. Cody, how's it going today?
No, what the fuck that reminded me of? It's like it's one of those weird times where you hear something or smell something or see something where you're like,
yeah,
holy deja
smells
vu.
the biggest one for me with that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's the worst because you can never explain to somebody, you know that smell? Anything else you can be, you know, it kind of looks like this, it sounds like that, but smell, there's no.
Yeah, your voice did that for me. Like, I used to tag along to some livestock auctions as a kid, and you kind of sound like that guy. Next coming up is a 200-pound heifer. Big breeding bull.
I don't know what I was trying to go for. Well, there's no real goal. My only thing I was trying was something different. I feel like we got the loud, obnoxious one, like wrestling style.
Yeah, that's what I always thought wrestling.
Oh, that's what you thought? I thought usually when I do the other one, that like drags on.
No, this one right here. I also kind of, we used to do my dad used to compete in demolition derbies a lot all over Ohio. It also kind of sound like heat number 3 tonight, which I sound absolutely so white trash. Like, livestock auctions and demolition derbies.
I was going to say, every category you put me in doesn't really sound like a compliment.
I could see that. Yeah, I like that one, though. That was good.
Yeah?
That was much easier than that. I like that was. I never heard you make that voice either. That's a new voice for you.
It was. I don't know if I ever used that one.
Can you do it again? Like say something like,
now it's too much pressure. See, I was going to do it and I could hear Tommy Pickles coming out or Chucky coming out in my voice from Rugrats already. So, no, I lost it.
Damn.
I'll do it again another episode when you're not expecting it, though.
Okay.
I just know when I start thinking too hard, I'll fuck it up. So what have you been up to, buddy? I know you weren't here last week, so you might have been up to some more than usual.
Nothing really.
No?
I wanted to fix some wood floors in my house, but Amazon's been really fucking it up with me. I don't know if it's because of what happened over Twitter with racist Gorilla Glue, but they canceled my order for wood glue. It was on my way to my house, and then like, this is undeliverable. So I'm guessing it busted. And then now it's like, hey, this item's sold out. So like, what the fuck happened to Gorilla Glue? I really needed that wood glue. I can't help that some idiot put it in her fucking hair. And God, it sounded so painful too. She left it in for weeks, and then the hospital tried to put that nail polish remover in it.
Yeah,
and it just
I saw
got
that.
gunky. And now there's lawyers just like, they're ready to cash in because she was an idiot.
Yeah, I think that's all on you at that point.
It was also, they turned it into a race thing too. Did you see that?
Shocking. It was also because it was gorilla, so it was
Whoa.
monkeys.
First of all, gorilla is an ape, not a monkey.
Oh, gotcha. Definitely.
But there, I guess there's some similar hair products they use the word gorilla in it. For I could read you what the lawyer said on Twitter. I screenshotted it because like this is nuts.
Okay.
Let's see if I can find it on here. Oh yeah, here it is. This is from Xavier Pope. He's a lawyer that is very excited to cash in on it. He's also black, so that's why there's the victimization in here. Gorilla Glue. Hair is not skin. Because Gorilla Glue is like, hey, Gorilla Glue is like, hey, we're very sorry to hear about this unfortunate incident that Miss Brown experienced using our spray adhesive on her hair. We are glad to see in a recent video that Miss Brown has received medical treatment. Gorilla Glue, hair is not skin. Your product failed to adequately warn, knowing hair glue in fact exists, and many black women use hair glue as hair adhesive. And for this, your company is liable. You should have given her a sponsorship deal. Sponsorship deal? What does that mean? What are we going to put Gorilla Glue on her forehead? The fucking NASCAR? She's that dumb, she might do it though, dude. You know, that's a good point. Someone brought up, if I did this, I would be so afraid that anyone found out about this. I'd feel so stupid. Yeah. But she put it all up on social media with her scalp bleeding, and he said, but instead you'll be held accountable. If I was a judge, I'd be like, you put super glue in your hair? Yeah, you're an idiot. Goodbye. So I was this woman's photos, man. Sometimes I feel like this happened on purpose. This one comment on there said, "Y'all are missing the point. The warning label should have been inclusive. Since now warning labels aren't inclusive. Culturally, we're rotting. Seriously, go study the fall of Rome. We're balls deep into that shit right now. I guess you guys think I'm fucking with you. Y'all are missing the point. The warning label should have been more inclusive. The warning label should have been more inclusive. Since black women do use glue for hair adhesives, warning labels, just like everything else, needs to acknowledge confusions that may happen to all kinds of people. Yes, she knew it was glue, but the label should have reiterated maybe not for salon use. Sentence. Hair is not skin. If you're dumb enough to put super glue in your fucking hair, I don't think having not for salon use on the packaging would have stopped this idiot.
Uh-huh.
Then this lawyer, too, he said, message to me. There's a lot of anti-blackness and elitism in the comments. There's a fucking anti-blackness and elitism in the comments. And you know what the comments said? They all probably just said, don't put super glue in your hair, idiot. But I think they'll just want to cash in.
No, I'm sure.
I just saw the photo of your beautiful hair. Yeah, so that...
You gonna put some glue in it?
Hell yeah, man. Just work and... wait till we get to the pickups.
Oh, Jesus.
Way too much going on there. So that's also what I've been doing.
Okay.
But yeah, what about you, buddy? Wait, can I guess?
I guess you're on Ryan's. He fucking recruited you, huh?
What? Recruited me?
Working overtime?
Yeah, I was going to guess, yeah. Working overtime.
Yeah, because he's talked about how I need to get counseling for it and need help. So
yeah, I'm concerned about you, buddy.
I was guessing he recruited you by now.
That's going to be nice, though. Double, or what do you say, quadruple overtime or some
Double,
shit?
yeah.
Double?
So yeah, I've been taking a lot more of that.
Imagine quadruple overtime?
Oh, yeah, that would... I mean, it'd be great, but it would kind of suck at the same time because, like I said, I would like to have more of a balance, but it's just hard to pass up that money, especially because it's not always there. I know I can't believe I've done it this long. So kind of having to take advantage of it, I'd love to not do that and be able to play more games and watch more shit. But I feel like it's only a matter of time until it goes away. But
might as well get it while you can.
Yeah, I seem to keep saying that every week, and then they keep offering it. I'm like, well, all right, well, I guess I'm here again. So they haven't offered it this week yet, though. Usually I do it by Tuesday, so we'll see. This could finally be the end. You won't have to hear it anymore.
Damn.
But
I'm getting worried about you.
I appreciate it. So besides that, not much of anything, actually, besides, well, we'll talk about when we're playing games and what we've been watching and whatnot. But before we get into the normal show, you want to start with a game show? We got 2 of them this week.
Let's do it.
Because I was going to make one for you, but Ryan McEmails and James B. both sent in their own for you. So you ready for this?
Yeah.
This one's from James. He only had 6, so there's only 6 clues here. So you can still have 2 guesses.
Okay.
That'll make it a lot easier. All right, you ready for clue number 1?
Yes.
You are stranded in space.
Okay.
Next clue?
Yeah.
Okay. You're up against an enemy you can't kill.
I think I have a guess, but I don't think it's right.
You want to take it? You want to risk it or wait?
Yeah, I'll risk it.
Yeah? Okay.
It's Prey 2016?
Meh.
Damn, okay.
We should get some terrible sound effects for when things are right and wrong in here and when you win it. Yeah. Also, sorry, before we go any farther, I can't remember if it was with you or when Ryan was on here, but how do you feel about next time you're on here? We have a phone a friend options for you as well. When you can call somebody.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like it'd be very funny. It was Ryan, because I was like, he joked about it. I was like, I was actually seriously considering that. Yeah, but don't do that, because you got to do it so fucking late that if you call anybody, they're going to be so mad. That's actually why I thought it'd be getting funnier. I thought if we called you and put it on speaker right here, the gold would come out of that. Now that we said that loud, his phone's going to be a fucking mute for sure. But
you know what it would be?
What's that?
it would ring for like probably 3 or 4 rings, and then you just hear like shuffling noises, and he'd take 20 seconds to say hello. Hello. Hey, Ryan, I need a quick question here for you, okay? In case people listen don't know, when you recall Ryan when he's half asleep, he like whispers.
Yeah. He would say the answer you don't know. Borderlands 3. Ryan, what was that? Borderlands 3.
And then no matter how many times you ask him what, he gets lower.
Okay, I think we should implement that next week. I think we should make it drastic like they do on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. You only get one call. If they don't answer, you're screwed. And we could have like a 30 or 60 second timer.
I think it'd be funny too to call
hang up on them.
Call a random ass number too.
That'd be even better, yeah.
You're stranded in space. What?
No, that'd be awesome. And then we could tell whoever you're calling not to search it because that would ruin it real fast. Cause I got you. But okay, so you guessed one. You're on
question 3, I think.
3. Not all enemies are human. So you haven't heard that one, right?
No.
Okay, I didn't think I said that.
So not all enemies are human. You're stranded in space.
And you're up against an enemy you can't kill.
I think a Mass Effect. Because wasn't the main enemy you couldn't kill them? But he wasn't really stranded in space, though. Keep going.
Okay. You have to be smart and crafty to survive.
Smart and crafty to survive. Stranded in space is killing me right now. What the fuck? Is this a game I've played?
I don't think you have played it. I'm not positive, though.
Fuck, I don't know. What's the next one?
This game has a female protagonist.
No fucking clue.
It's a sequel to a movie. That's the final clue.
It's a sequel to a movie.
Yep. That's the only one I thought maybe if you haven't played it, you go, oh.
A sequel to a movie?
Yep. So I guess you haven't heard this then, because I thought you'd be, oh, shit, I know this. Even if you haven't played the game, but you must not have heard this before.
A sequel to a movie? What the fuck? Just tell me.
Alien Isolation.
Oh, I didn't think about that.
Yeah, they said it's like the true sequel to the Alien movie.
Okay.
So that's a full 6 for me right there, buddy.
Boom.
You're getting all cocky before we start recording. You really did that to yourself, huh?
I did.
But we got one from Ryan later, and he has 10 questions in there for you.
Okay.
Or 10 answers, whatever. But you have anything that from the weeks before that you forgot to talk about?
So much I love you.
Is that going to be it every time?
Did I really say it multiple times?
Yeah, I don't care.
Really? Every week I'm like, oh, it's so original. I thought the first time I ever said that just now. I swear.
Ryan, you love editing. I think Cody's only said it a couple times, but you should go back and make a compilation of all the times you said it.
I love you. I love you. I love you. I just want you to know I love you.
I think it's only been a couple times, though, unfortunately. Otherwise, it'd be much funnier. The only thing I forgot was, actually last time me and you record, was they delayed Golem to 2022 out of 2021, which that game didn't seem like the biggest game to begin with as far as what was going to come out of that game. So it's kind of surprising that it already got delayed to an entire year to next year.
It's a small team, right?
Yeah. But just didn't look very ambitious even for a small team. So I'm surprised it got delayed like that. But that's the only thing I have, so we can move on to corrections, question, and feedback. No email from Ryan this week, sadly, so no nonsense for you to read.
Oh, thank God.
And then James sent us an email this week, and he said his question actually was, this week's going to be a simple one, he says. What are your favorite console exclusives? So me and Cody talked before this, and next week, Ryan is actually going to be on again, but the week after that, Cody will be on. And James, I think you'll like this more. If you don't, let me know. But we're going to do our favorite exclusive from each console we grew up with or currently own and play consistently. I think that's a a very fun way to take your question. And then Cody wasn't here for your question last week, so I'll read that after I share. He has some semi-fake outrage, as he says. I'm kind of annoyed that people expect new things in a Mass Effect remaster. It's a remaster, not a remake. Why would they? Question mark? It's a miracle it got the green light at all. Signed, Sasquatch. And then his question from last week when you weren't here, Cody, was, how's it going, guys?
Good. I know Ryan was at. You guys were wondering if I forget each time or if it's like a gimmick. It's like a 50-50 chance. It goes back and forth.
That's even better.
Yeah. It's sometimes it's like, oh, I'll wait a few seconds.
Yeah.
Good.
So he said, I thought of this question while watching the live stream. During Gears 5 Hive Busters, they were riding a platform down a river of lava, and I thought
I do remember this question.
Okay, you do?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it looked awesome, but would really suck to be there. The question I thought of is, what worlds would you like to be in, and what worlds would you hate to be in?
Worlds I'd like to be in?
And he told me the way, since you remember it, the way I took it last time was the correct way, like ones that you would just come into real life, not like you'd be stuck in the game like Ryan thought. Because like I said, after Ryan said that, oh shit, maybe that is how he meant it.
I did like Ryan's answer, GTA. This is still just like an alternate parody.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, I don't know which one I would like to be in, but which one I hate to be in is maybe Mars and Doom. That looks terrible for humans. The Nether in Minecraft.
Okay.
Which is basically just hell in Minecraft. I do like being in that in the game, but I feel like it'd be fucking terrible as a human. Or real life. Ones that I like though, I don't know, man. I feel like most of the video games you play, it's like just an absolute hellscape or shit. Or people trying to kill you all the time, so I can't really think of anything positive. Maybe the Forza world, just drive nice cars all the time. Beautiful landscapes. Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. Places I would like to be. That's the hardest part of this question. I'm trying to think. Oh, I know.
Let's hear it.
The South Park games. That'd be so funny.
Yeah.
Yeah. That or some racing game.
I tried to think of a couple more since mine because I didn't think I had the best answers, but I thought they were funny. I think part of the issue is I think some of the coolest things I would want to be in, they'd be very short-lived and they would be not very cool after a while. Like my first thought's Halo, obviously. Man, imagine seeing these places and fucking murder the elites and grunts. But as cool as that sounds, when you're actually be in that, it'd be fucking terrifying. It'd be cool like to see the Halo ring and to see enemies, and then when you actually see how fucking vicious they are and them trying to kill you, the fun would go away real fast. Or even like The Walking Dead. I feel like every guy and some girls, but I feel like it's a very guy-centric thing to dream about just blowing zombie brains up and just killing them in the most creative ways. I think that's why Zombieland was such a hit, because that kind of focused on that and just brought up the most ridiculous things, because zombie movies are usually somewhat serious. But even that would be fun, but then it'd be fucking terrifying. It'd be cool to do that, and they'd be shit, there's millions of these things around. The likely outcome is that I'm going to be one of them soon. So I think it's going to be cool for so long. But I don't know. It's hard to say because of those, like those things that the coolest ones I think we're going to be cool for so long. One that I think would be interesting, similar to those, but I don't think it would have as big a fear. I haven't even played the game, but I think if we're just talking about worlds that would be fun to be a part of, would be No Man's Sky, because I feel like you get all that, like the space travel and traversal and exploring, but there's not much to worry about because there's not many real enemies to kill or anything, and space travel is so safe. I think that would be, because as much as I'd be like, man, I'd love to go to the moon one day, I'd be fucking, if I had the option to go there by myself, I'd be like, no, I'm not doing that. I know some people are all about that, but I gotta be honest with myself, I know I wouldn't.
Yeah. I 100% know I wouldn't.
Really?
No.
I think, I fucking would. I feel like some people are sincere. I feel like other people really don't think that through. I feel like it's kind of like the, will you do this for $1 million? And like, oh, of course I would, because of course you just in theory going to the moon sounds fun. But are you really thinking that through? How fucking terrifying that'd be? And just
yeah, it's really. I hate thinking about that. Even the space and emptiness.
yeah, I think you watched this movie Moon. I feel like that brings out a good side of that. Just seeing how fucking depressing that'd be, and how you just your sanity would just fall apart.
Or I never watched it just because it scares me. But Gravity.
Oh yeah.
Or even the Christopher Nolan one.
Oh yeah, Inception.
Yeah.
That one.
No, not Inception. No.
Oh, not Inception. Yeah, that's why I'm in Interstellar. No, that one messed with me the most. Because Moon is, without spoiling it, I won't say anything like that, but the parts that are scariest would be him just, like I said, losing his sanity and seeing like true loneliness. But yeah, Interstellar took it much different ways with like the different time periods and how time would speed up and slow down and really fuck with the real world.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, that's a whole nother level of fucking scariness. But, James, thanks for sending the question. Ryan, thanks for letting your fans down again. If anyone wants to send any corrections, question, or feedback, they can send it to currentbackloggers@gmail.com. And then this is where the news is at. We're trying something new this week. Cody, you want to be our newsman?
Yeah, let's do it, man.
I can start with one while you're pulling it up. It's non-gaming, but probably the biggest news of the week. So you probably know it's going to be about Taylor Swift. Tomorrow morning on Good Morning America, Taylor Swift's going to make an announcement. So by the time you're watching or listening to this, it'll already be made, but you can find it. Cody, what's the announcement going to be?
She had a boob job.
You think she's going to say that on air?
No, I don't know, man. Pregnancy.
Oh, that'd be sad. That'd be extra sad. That'd be a fucking cute baby.
What if it's a wedding proposal for you?
For me, man, that went from terrible to the best thing ever.
I just want to say.
Ew. Never mind, it's bad again.
Casey Pugh. I want to spend the rest of my life with him. Casey, are you out there?
I think.
Would you just take off running? You fucking probably trip over your Taylor Swift table.
Break my head open, just die there. That was the ending. I'm hoping it's the next album. I told you I think there's going to be 3 in this set, if you want to call it that. Did you fart? You're making that face, yeah?
No, I'm just trying to be like, I think it's going to be just, I've been fighting for minorities or something.
No, I think the more likely one is that she's re-recording all of her old albums since she lost the rights to it.
Oh.
So I feel
she
like
lost
there's
the rights to it?
Yeah, I'm surprised you didn't hear about that. There was the record label she was with sold it to somebody else without her signing off because they had the rights to it, and then she tried to buy it back and they wouldn't sell it to her. And there's a whole lot of fucked up shit. I think you would agree with most of her side if you looked it up, because all of it just seems. And the guy, his name's Scooter Braun. You might know his name. He's a producer on Dave, actually. But he's big in the music industry and or like labels and everything. But even the name's douchey. But yeah, you can find so much shit on him. He just seems like a giant douche. So yeah, anything she's made from those albums, she hasn't made any money off of for since I think a year and a half now.
Damn.
And she made a song for AMC, like the channel. Look What You Made Me Do, that jam. They wanted to use it as one of their commercials, but he would have got the money for it, so she put a fake band together to cover the song for her, and they made the song for AMC. I'll show you. I think you might like it because it doesn't sound like her at all, but she's been finding workarounds.
It's a pretty recent song, too.
Yeah.
The fuck, this company just sold her shit?
Yeah. Yeah, you can look it up. Like I said, you hating her, I think it would be hard to.
He's so stupid, first of all, to sell her stuff because really cashing in. But the guy named Scooter Braun, this is like a 80s movie, like Scooter Braun, this fucking driving a big red Porsche or something. And then like he runs into Taylor Swift. He's like, Sup, Swift. What's up, Scooter Braun?
Jesus.
She's pissed.
It's funny you talked about the boob job because I was joking with Danielle. I was like, I think she's going to go on there and announce an OnlyFans, which she never. That's not going to happen.
Fuck, she'd break that website.
That's what I was going to say. It's kind of, I'm not shocked she hasn't done that, but it's kind of shocking like a known celebrity hasn't done that. I know like some streamers and cosplayers and stuff do.
Mm.
But I think it's kind of shocking like a real celebrity hasn't done it.
Well,
especially
what's her name did?
Who's that?
That one chick, because everyone was pissed that a celebrity was on there. She's like red. Let's look her up. It's gonna bug me until I find it. What if she like sits down at Good Morning America? Are you gonna get up and watch it?
No, I'll watch. I'd like to be. Yeah, I'll be there, but I'm just gonna look up what it is when I get up.
I think she's gonna have a box with her. There's a YouTube video on all the celebrities on OnlyFans. 18 celebrities with OnlyFans accounts you can thirst over. I think she's gonna open up a fucking box and it's gonna be Scooter Braun's head. There's blood everywhere. She's like, say hi, Scooter, and she's like takes his little fucking mouth and
All the
hi, Taylor.
all those over the top cutesy people in Good Morning America.
Bella Thorne.
Oh, that's why I didn't know. She's pretty much just a fucking OnlyFans person on her own.
Tana Mojo or Mojang. Amber Rose. Austin Mahone.
Oh my god.
Tyler Posey. Tyga. Cardi B. Aaron Carter.
Are these people actually doing nudes too? Because I didn't know that was a thing that people did fully clothed things or lingerie on here.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't know that
Aaron
thing until
Carter's-
recently. So
Aaron Carter's like doing crazy shit. They said there's like he was doing like his covering, like making acoustic versions of a song, like strumming on his guitar with his dick out. These people look idiotic on here. There's a guy, I never even heard of these people. I think calling these people a celebrity is a bit of a stretch. This guy was on season 10 of Drag Race. What a
I didn't know that was a
A-lister.
show.
Yeah, RuPaul? Drag
Oh,
Race?
I took it the other way, like racing cars. I didn't know that was the name of that show though.
Black China. Ryan Kelly. I don't know any of these people. Oh, Michael B. Jordan's going to have, it's coming soon, Michael B. Jordan. That's going to be the biggest star on there, Michael B. Jordan.
And I feel like some of these are probably just going to be like underwear kind of things. And I feel like at that point you're kind of just modeling like you would in Maxim or GQ or whatever the equivalent is.
This is nice. He's going to use all the proceeds for small businesses to help during COVID. Good for
Small
him.
businesses, big dick. That's going to be
Fuck
the motto.
yeah, dude. Yeah. What the hell were we talking about?
Well, I took us off on a
Taylor
tangent.
Swift.
Yeah, if you want to get the news, it's okay. I was the one that did it.
Okay. From IGN, HBO's Last of Us show casts Game of Thrones star as Ellie. I meant to look up this Lady Liliana Mormont. Trying to think how they say the British accent shit. The Last of Us TV show coming to HBO has found its Ellie, Bella Ramsey. Which is funny, there's a Ramsey. We don't like Ramsey Bolton. We don't like that piece of shit.
We don't?
Fuck no, dude. You want to hear what he did?
I don't like him.
It's kind of spoilers. I probably shouldn't say it, but
Oh, it's on that show, you mean?
yeah,
Yeah,
Pretty
you can hold off then, I guess.
pretty fucked up what he does.
It's also kind of weird you said Bella after we were just talking about Bella.
He pissed me off so bad that when it finally like goes towards the other way, like there's some sort of revenge. There's a really cool scene of like Jon Snow, and like a giant and one of the leaders of the wildlings. I fucking love that part of the show so much. It's been my desktop background for years because I hate that piece of shit. So she's best known for playing Lady Liliana. I don't know how to say her name, but she's part of the House of Moment. In Game of Thrones, will play the main role in Craig Mazin's adaptation. I told you before we filmed this, great fit. The TV show, she was so badass.
Yeah, I was going to ask you because you've watched it more than me. Looking at her picture, I didn't think she aesthetically fit it the best. But I can't really.
That photo too, they were showing. I feel like it's old.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay. It didn't look like it was completely off either. It wasn't like it was like some overweight blonde haired girl with completely different colored eyes. It was like similar looking, but I would never think of her as Ellie if I saw her. But I mean, I'm sure they can do more stuff with makeup to help with that, and then the acting is obviously a more important part. And you said that you thought it fit it well.
Yeah, she's a really good actress from the TV show. Like I told you, most of her family is wiped out, so she's like, that's not really a spoiler. Kind of happens behind the scenes.
No, I got you.
But she is in charge of a big army, and they're following a child, but she's fucking badass. Really liked her.
Okay.
So I think it's a good mix.
Yeah, that was somewhat recent news, and then right before we started recording, we got this bit of news going about The Last of Us.
Yeah, Pedro Pascal, which he puts his gender pronouns on Twitter, so he's safe from getting canceled. It's he/him, in case you didn't fucking know that. To star as Joel in The Last of Us, HBO series based on the video game. I think that's a good match. It looks like him.
I think that one I can speak to more because, like I said, with her, I just saw pictures, so I can't really judge anything else. But I think, yeah, he looks a decent amount like him. Again, I'm sure they'll do stuff to help him look more like him. And I think he's a really impressive actor. And I haven't seen him in a ton, but I feel like the stuff I've seen him in, he's acted very different. And I feel like that kind of like gravelly, serious voice and tone they use in Mandalorian, take it a little farther than The Last of Us. He'll match it really well. I feel like the fact that all these are like official things and it's kind of moving fast is a good sign for the show in general, especially the people they have leading it with what's his name, Craig. I always fucking mess up his last name. You said it, the first one, Craig Mason, I think.
Mason?
Yeah, the dude that did Chernobyl, and then Neil Druckmann is. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet, but I want to. Neil Druckmann is writing and producing it, and he wrote and directed The Last of Us. So I know people are not high on it, but I think it has a better chance to be successful. I think even aside from people like video games, I think it has a chance to be successful being on HBO and being like a gritty, dark kind of show. I feel like those shows gravitate or get an audience, a very similar audience to like The Walking Dead, Game of Thrones. I feel like everybody just goes from those kind of shows to the next one.
Yeah.
So I feel like catch the same audience even if they don't care about games.
And zombies.
Yeah.
And one of the biggest TV castings of the year, the Mandalorian star Pedro Pascal is set to headline The Last of Us, HBO's high-profile series adaptation of the Sony PlayStation franchise from Chernobyl creator Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann. Based on the critically acclaimed video game The Last of Us developed, blah, blah, blah. Did I just read this? Am I reading this again? Oh, I thought I fucked up. I was reading the same thing again. I wasn't. I blah, 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 because I thought I was rereading it. But
Oh, you're okay if you don't think so.
Developed by Naughty Dog exclusive for the PlayStation platforms, the story takes place 20 years after modern civilization has been destroyed. Joel, a hardened survivor, is hired to smuggle Ellie, a 14-year-old girl, out of an oppressive quarantine zone.
Oh, sorry, you still going?
Joel, tormented by past trauma and failure, must track a pandemic ravaged America.
Oh, too soon.
This marks a homecoming for Pascal, who became a household name with his role as oh, fuck, yeah, I forgot he was in Game of Thrones, too.
Yeah, since I never watched it, I forgot that till I read that article, and I was, oh, yeah, I remember seeing pictures of him.
Martell, yeah, he fought the Mountain.
Well, I didn't know that. I'm shaking my head, but I just knew he was in the show.
Yeah, he taught, I forgot about that. That's really good chemistry with him and, the youngest Stark girl, where he, was her Jedi master, taught her how to sword fight. So, yeah, I forgot. He had really good chemistry with, that sounds terrible, but a little girl in that show. So, I think that could continue over to this show, where he once again has a relationship with a little girl.
Yeah, it's impossible to talk about without sounding creepy, but no, I think that's vital to The Last of Us. If you play the game without spoiling anything, that's like key to the success is how they play off each other and how you figure this out in like the first minute, and I don't think it's a spoiler to begin with, but that's not his daughter he's looking after. I see like it even said that in there. So it's kind of like a story of them like trying to become closer together, and then
Sansa Stark.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's fucking vital to the story, so that's even more reason to believe what they're doing is a good thing.
Yeah, he was real good about it because he's like trying to teach her how to survive in this crazy new world.
Yeah, sounds like you're describing The Last of Us.
Yeah, so this is going to be, I think that's a great matchup because he did so well with her. Pascal currently, God, that guy's really killing it. Disney Plus hugely popular and acclaimed series The Mandalorian, which recently he had. God, you should watch Game of Thrones because there's a really cool moment with him. I forgot that was him. Which recently received Golden Globe nomination for Best Drama Series. I hear he could continue on Star Wars series where he used sparingly because the premise of the character, The Last of Us, has him in first position. The actor recently became available for the new series, attracting multiple big offers from premium networks and streamers, opting to do The Last of Us. Oh, he played the villain in Wonder Woman?
Yep. Yeah, a little weird in there, but still a very different aspect, which I feel like shows versatility.
The Narcos and the Kingsman, The Golden Circle, stars currently in production on Judd Apatow's The Bubble for Netflix. He is repped by WME, Anonymous Content, and Jackaway Austin Terrim. So this goes on to talk about who's directing it. So it also has some, looks like it has some producer from Game of Thrones as well in Chernobyl.
Just say the name, if not.
Carolyn Strauss.
Oh, okay, yeah. I know the name. That's what I was wondering, because I knew there's somebody else I was missing that's a big name.
Also executive producers along with the Naughty Dog president, Evan Wells, alongside Assad Quizzlebash.
Probably better than I got. I don't know.
The fuck?
That's why I'm
Assad
smiling.
Quizzlebash and Carter Swan of PlayStation Productions. Yeah, I'm excited, man. That's some. Yeah, I hate that. Sounds absolutely creepy, but yeah, he taught her how to sword fight, how to defend herself, and she went from being like this super privileged, protected person to being like, yeah, you're on your fucking own now. You gotta learn how to fight.
Yeah, so that sounds perfect.
Yeah, it's a good match.
That first article, the reason it's so small is I read it, and it's a good thing I did because you haven't played The Last of Us. They dropped a giant spoiler in there. And I mean, the spoiler, they said it was, I feel like the game's been out a long time, and it was like in context of the story. It wasn't like they were trying to spoil it. Like I read it, and I didn't think twice. And I was like, oh shit, no, Cody hasn't played it yet, so I removed it. But yeah, they totally spoiled the first game in it.
This is all over social media. From ESPN, NCAA football is returning. After last making college football video game in 2013, the possibility of a game returning had been in limbo. Now it isn't. Daryl Holt, EA Sports Vice President and General Manager, told ESPN the game maker will be returning to the space with EA Sports College Football. What a weird name.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
No, I don't either.
As we look for momentum, that's what we're building on in sports. It's all about, starts with the it all starts with the passion of our fans and opportunities on what they're interested in. There's a visit where I go outside wearing a piece of EA Sports branded apparel and someone doesn't go, hey, when is the college football coming back? I mean, just the old copies on eBay. Wonder if they're going to crash.
I was thinking about that because I know that's more what you're into. I can see that. Obviously, I'm not an expert in that at all. But I can see that going either way. I can feel like people, well, now we're getting new versions. Who the fuck cares? Or people like, man, there's a new version. I could have the last one that came out to go like with it to collect it. So I feel like that could go either way, really.
Or if they don't make a good game.
Yeah.
Or don't let you update rosters.
And it's still the last one unless something changes. It's called NCAA as well. So I feel like that'll matter to people.
So then it says to make it happen, EA Sports partnered with collegiate licensing company CLC to make sure it had the FBS schools. Traditions, uniforms, and playbooks. It's weird to think traditions are copyrighted, among other things. Ready to go for the game? Over 100 teams will be in the game. It's crazy to think there's even 100 college football teams.
Yeah, I don't know the amount, but I think it's like 160 or something crazy.
Wow. For now, EA Sports is planning to move forward without rosters that include the names, images, or likeness of real college players. That's a smart way of doing it.
Yeah, that's from what I don't know. I must have a different memory of these games. I guess that's how they've always done it.
Really?
I could have sworn that the announcer will like say the player's name, because I feel that would stick in my mind. If they're like, number 5 throws a deep to number 10. I feel that'd be like so bland. I could have sworn they said people's names, but everybody I talked to in the podcast I've listened to, they said that's how they've always done it.
Oh. Well, I know like some players would be on the cover, of course.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, the last NCAA has a Michigan player on the front.
Yeah, sadly.
What's his name?
Denard Robinson.
Yeah, so he's pretty big because Renee always recognizes him.
Yeah.
Did they say anything about basketball? Because I wonder if the basketball games will go up
No, they didn't say anything about that. And that stopped before this even happened. Yeah, so that was kind of just stop, I think, because of sales, not because of the issues.
Let's see. This is for now. EA Sports is planning to move forward without rosters, blah, 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 the likeness of real college players. Current NCAA prohibits athletes from selling their NLI rights while in college. However, those rules are likely to be changed at some point in the coming years by the NCAA. State legislatures or Congress, it is not clear whether the involving rules will allow for that kind of group licensing arrangements that would be needed for EA Sports to negotiate athletes to use their names in the game. Let's see. Which I think will not really affect the value of the last one, because it seems like people are real anal about having correct rosters and updating stuff.
Yeah.
This game might not let you do that. It says EA Sports is still in the very beginning of the process of the game development. Building out the team and deciding what direction it wants the game to go in. Conversations about bringing back the game began over a year ago, Holt said. The combination of momentum of the company combined with the technology it has next-gen platforms. Is it just going to be on next-gen?
That's what it sounds like, which I think makes sense now that we know how far out it sounds like. If it was coming out this year, I think that'd be a weird way to handle it. But that actually, I think it makes sense, because by the time it comes out, if it's not coming out for this season, that means we're like a year and a half away at the earliest from getting the first one. And by then, I think, well, not majority of the consoles on the market will be the current gen, but it'll be, if you want to get a current gen console, you'll definitely be able to. So I think that's fair to do it that way. I think it's exciting that seeing that they could have that much potential to be able to have like the highest specs and everything to work with.
Oh yeah, you have it on here about the Denard Robinson. I think I looked. He's not in the league or anything anymore, right?
Oh no, he is pretty terrible in the NFL.
Really?
Yeah.
That sucks for him. Fuck Michigan. That always makes me so sad for those guys, man.
Yeah.
I'm looking through here. I mean, it's all really where we see college football is going. There's a lot happening, and there's a lot of things happening in sports. EA Sports College Football gives us a name and a brand to kind of work around for some things that might involve, as well as what we are focusing really on at the gate, which is really the FBS Division I schools and the road to college football playoffs and college football championships. Is there really 160 Division I teams?
Is that what they said, or you know what? I think so.
Wow.
Yeah, that's if you play the old NCAA games, if you went past team, oh shit, where were they again? You just scroll through list and list. The NFL, you just like cycle back through in a few seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, they They even had it broken down. You could switch between conferences because there were so many teams that you'd be going through and through.
Yeah, my friends played these a lot.
Oh, yeah. Me too.
I never really got into them. So I did like this little snippet of history in here. One change from the prior iterations of the game for now will be the name of the game. In previous iterations, the game was from 1997 until 2014. The title NCAA was used along with the year. Before that, it was College Football USA for 2 years, and the first 2 years of the game, Bill Walsh College Football. Who the fuck is Bill Walsh?
He is super successful. I'm guessing, well, he had to be successful in college as well for them to do that, but he went on to coach the 49ers, I think, and win multiple Super Bowls.
In the 90s?
I think it would have been...
In their little dynasty they had in the 90s?
Yeah, I think he's the one to beat the Bengals twice in a row. Yeah. 49ers coach and beat the Bengals 2 times in a row to win the Super Bowl.
Only reason I know is I have an uncle that's crazy into the 49ers is because he was in high school in the 90s, and they were kind of like not the Patriots, but they were pretty dominant for a few years. Okay, that makes sense. Wonder where he coached college football at.
Well, it might have been... They might have done it as a legacy thing for a player or coaching because he was a receivers coach at California to start with, defensive back coach at Stanford, and then went to the NFL, went to the CFL, then went back to college to coach at Stanford as a head coach, and the 49ers, and back to Stanford to coach as a head coach.
It's also possible he had done just enough in college and was still cheap enough to buy for the games. Okay, next article. From PC Gamer, Gearbox has been bought by Embracer Group in a $1.3 million deal.
Sorry, before we go into that, I didn't want to make you read the whole thing. I was just going to say a couple things about NCAA.
Oh, yeah. Go for it, buddy.
Well, first off, I feel like we talked a little bit, but how do you feel about the whole payment thing for players and the rights and everything?
Man, I'm pretty capitalistic, and I know how you feel, but, man, if they let them use their likeness, let them cash in even a little bit. Some of these guys, like, they don't spend a lot of time in the NFL. I get they're getting a free college degree, but if you're talented enough, like, I just wish they would get more, of course. You know, but that's the capitalist in me. I'm like, let them cash in, dude. Let them make some money on their names. Who cares? I don't think it's if the NCAA is trying to like protect the sanctity of colleges by not turning them into mini NFL teams or something. Which I understand and I get, but I think, you know, if someone in the second or third string is getting a full ride scholarship, I mean, they're really not getting the similar things. Like, essentially they're both getting the same thing. Someone on third string and first string quarterback are technically getting the same thing if they're both full ride. I don't know if a third string would be full ride or not. I doubt it, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I'm just like, bro, I don't get how this is. Like, the NCAA just seems like a bunch of real dumb rules and regulations. And I'm totally against rules and regulations. Like, more and more, just to the point that it's overbearing and complicated. I think it's stupid. I hate when the government does it, but so I still kind of hate it when these, like, shadow corporations that are making a shit ton of money are like, hey, you can't collect money on that. Also, I'm like, yeah, let them get some money, man. Let them secure some money. But then it's, I think of baseball, where baseball's pretty unregulated, money-wise. And I think sometimes it's really ruined it. Like, the Yankees come to mind.
Mm-hmm.
The insane amount of money. So, like, these big schools, they could just buy these guys pretty much if they
Yeah.
didn't have those in place. I think it's a weird thing, but I'm somewhere probably in the middle.
I was going to say I think I'm somewhere in the middle, too, which I feel like would be hard to believe because you know my stance. And, yeah, I'm definitely in the minority that I don't have an issue with players not getting paid, which I think that's definitely a minority by far. But I also, if it did happen, I wouldn't stop watching college football, and I don't think it's the worst thing ever. I just feel like there's a few things with it. Yeah, I think even if they were going to pay players, I don't know how any of that would work. I don't know if it would be up to the schools because, like you said, then it's completely unbalanced just immediately. Alabama, Ohio State, all the top teams would have a clear advantage. I mean, they already have advantage now, but they built that, and it's because how they recruit, not because, well, theoretically, not because of what they pay. But then if you leave it up to the NCAA and they do the payments, I don't know how you decide who gets what. The quarterbacks automatically get 2 times as much as a defensive back, or if it makes sense to pay by position. But even then, Justin Fields is going to get or should get way more than a first string at Missouri Southern or whatever you want to say.
Yeah.
So how do you do that? I feel like it just all becomes way too confusing. And then if NCAA does leave it up to schools, and the money would be coming from the NCAA, I imagine, so they'd give it to the school to divide up. And then I feel like you're just creating a whole new situation of them saying the school kept the money or divided it unevenly or gave it to the football program instead of the tennis program. Because that's the other thing. There's people say how college football players should get paid, but then as soon as you do that, it's going to be unfair that every athletics isn't getting paid.
See, I don't agree with that, though.
No?
Because I feel like football usually brings enough money that it supports all the other sports. Since the college is really cashing in on, say, OSU can cash in on football, so that means there can be a tennis team because they can take money that the football made and support all the other sports.
No, I don't disagree. I just think the people that are so hard the other way that the kids just need their money and they're just risking their lives, I think instantly it would be like, well, then why didn't this person get it? I think it's just a slippery slope. And I think even then it'd be hard to just cut and dry say that college football does in general, because it does probably more than any of them, and definitely in Ohio. But if you go somewhere like Kansas or Kentucky, then it's definitely reverse, where basketball is definitely a driving force and the college is an afterthought or kind of a joke. So I feel like it would be hard to just say college football overall, because I feel like that is definitely depending on where you are.
Reminds me of the WNBA argument.
Yeah.
Well, once tennis starts bringing in hundreds of thousands of people and millions of viewers, then we'll start paying you. That's how capitalism works, supply and demand. You know? So, when fucking chess club starts bringing in 1 million people on the internet or on television, then we can talk about paying you.
Yeah, so I get the argument, and like I said, I wouldn't stop watching college football, and I don't think it's the worst idea. I just don't know how it actually would work. And I also think most of the people, not you, but most people make this strong argument about how it's disgusting that they're doing it and that players deserve to get paid, are the same people that say that NFL players should never get paid this much and all they're doing is playing football. But then when it's college football, they're risking their lives and anything could happen. But then when they get pro, they're like, well, they shouldn't get paid this much. They're just playing football. No, they're still risking their lives, and probably, well, definitely more so because the speed is so much higher. The players are bigger. Everything's amplified. And I do think that getting a full ride and tuition and scholarship is overlooked. I think a lot of people don't even get the chance to go to college because of that. So I feel like you'd be like, well, they get that, but imagine the money they could be making. I feel like that's, I think, overlooking a little bit of what they get, especially because, majority of players aren't going to make it. And like you said, a third-string quarterback probably, he's not, wouldn't get the money that Justin Fields get at first string playing college football. But Justin Fields, a player like that, is more than likely going to be a multimillionaire eventually anyways. And I feel like that's kind of I feel like that's kind of capitalism in its own way of playing your way into it and becoming successful and getting the money that you earn. And
Almost like paying your dues.
yeah. So, I don't know. Like I said, even though I do feel that way and I know I'm in the strong minority on that, I also don't think it's just like cut and dry, and I don't think there's nothing to do. I think the happy medium would be to not go so far with the rules, like you said, and to maybe let some of the stuff slide and let them make money off of certain things opposed to just downright paying them. But then again, where do you stop with that? Because you could be like, well, Ohio State can give players fucking endless amounts of stuff, or other people can give players that from Ohio because they care about them, but in Kansas, nobody's going to give their football team anything. I mean, relative to what teams like Ohio State and Michigan and Alabama can do.
Yeah.
So,
I think too, you gotta. Oh man, if there's some way to maybe not directly pay them, because I still am an idiot with money, but especially when I was like 18, 19.
yeah.
You imagine giving some of these kids like millions of dollars?
Yeah.
It could backfire on a lot of the schools. God damn, I was a fucking idiot, man, with money, and I still am, but especially at that age range.
I think you also, if they get paid, I think it's, you may talk about the other sports, just college football. I think within 5 years, you have an argument about, yeah, they're getting paid thousands, but look how much the university's getting. I feel like there's just going to be an endless thing, like CEOs of the top company like Jeff Bezos or something. You have a look at all these fucking factory workers, what they make. And I'm a fucking factory worker myself, but yeah, I'm not doing what Jeff Bezos does, so that makes sense why I'm not getting paid like him, and I don't just automatically get his money because he makes a lot of money.
Yeah, it's also not actually liquid.
Yeah.
Or whatever that term is for. Like, he doesn't actually have a fucking $100 billion sitting in a bank account. It's like what he's worth. Yeah, I could see that. I don't know, man. It's a complicated thing, but I think supply and demand. If the market says, "Hey, this football program makes millions of dollars," then they should be able to get a part of that. But yeah, it's a slippery slope for sure, and a double-edged sword.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of these kids are not coming from good backgrounds either.
Oh yeah, definitely not. Generally.
I think a great example of this is Last Chance U. Just a lot of kids that society failed and they have a talent. And I think too, like a lot of athletes, really good athletes, come from those environments.
And a lot of people want to take advantage of it, and even if they don't,
oh yes,
and if they don't want to take advantage of it, a lot of kids don't want to help their family because they feel like they never could, but then could also get taken advantage of by trying to help people themselves.
100%, man. You see that in Last Chance U, and like there's a few kids that go back and visit family, and they're just swarmed with people. Because like, oh my God, he's on Netflix. There's a chance he'll make the league. Because a lot of these guys were like Division I, like starters, but then because they did something stupid, yeah, they get surrounded by. You're right. Oh God, the car dealerships would love them too. They would almost need like financial advisors to help these kids if they did pay them.
I think we're going to see eventually anyways. I think it's a matter of time until something happens with the fight that's going on over it, and it's just getting stronger and stronger. So, like I said, I'm not going to be dramatic and say I'll never watch it and that's going to ruin it. I just think there's a lot of potential issues. But I think it's only a matter of time until we figure out if these issues are a thing or not, because I think it's going to happen. As far as the game, because that's obviously the main story here, I couldn't fucking believe this news when I saw it. I know the thing that EA put out said, I think they said you never stop believing, and neither did we. I was like, I gotta be honest, I don't know. Maybe other people felt that way. I never stopped hoping, but I was like, I don't fucking think this is going to happen, especially the more it went on. I was like, I thought for a few years, I was like, they're going to figure out all this licensing stuff, but the more it went on, and then when they figure out, do you remember a couple of years ago, they talked about how everything was figured out in court with the all the likeness and everything, and people started reporting this game was coming back.
Yeah.
So every time I saw one of those, I was like, oh shit. And then got to the point that I was just seeing like once a month about how it's coming back. So I was like, oh yeah, here we go. And it happened with this one at work. I was on my break and it popped up and I was like, oh great, another one of these. But I always click it just the off chance. And then it took me to EA's page and it was verified. I was like, oh my god, this is real. And I couldn't believe it. I think it's definitely smart, obviously, and I couldn't be more excited. I'm not a fan of the name. I guess that does show kind of a time and place thing because I literally didn't even know it had another name, and it was always successful. But I think now it's just so ingrained in our mind that sounds like a bad name. But I think if it was always called EA Sports College Football, who have been just saying it like that, I think all of us just call it NCAA now, so you think of it like that. I don't know if that's tied to the likeness and they're worried about that as well. Maybe it'll change to NCAA by the time this comes out. I could see that happening. I hope it does because I think it's a better name. But I definitely couldn't be more excited for it. I'm bummed that it's not coming out this year. I thought that was actually possible. I know these kind of announcements, usually things are far away. But I figured most people who worked at NCAA are probably still at EA, just got shuffled around to Madden and other things. And then I don't think it's like a lot of people probably say we're just copy and paste Madden. Well, I know it's not because if you play those games, they play very differently. And that's one thing I hope. They said that they're trying to figure out what direction to go with this game. It'd be cool if they take full advantage of the hardware and be able to get all the crazy specs out of it.
Mm-hmm.
But I hope they don't make it like Madden, and I'm not a Madden hater. That's what made it cool. It was always play very different. Madden was more of a simulation, and NCAA was very arcadian, pick up and play. Madden's kind of become more arcadian. I think it's because NCAA was gone. But I hope they knew what they had with that and that they try and keep them separated. I have a lot to say about this. I'm sorry.
No,
I'm very excited. I
figured.
Yeah, because I couldn't believe when I saw it. And I think we see what we see is every time something by EA is announced that everybody freaks out and gets so excited, which is so ironic because they're always voted the worst company in America, and all these people are excited, fucking hate on everything. I can't tell you how many people I saw be like, oh, now I don't have to buy fucking shitty Madden every year. Like, you are buying Madden, that's on you. I love Madden, I love sports games, I buy them every few years because, yeah, you know that's what they are. They have, I don't know if you ever looked into it, they actually developed the game for like 6 months by the time they actually end up being able to start development because they have to get everything lined up on the last one, updates and everything, so they have like 6 months of development. So they kind of just had to pick. That's why sometimes things literally just come and go because, all right, let's throw this feature in this time. And so I think it's kind of annoying. I'm excited, but I think it's kind of annoying how people handle these things and that EA is so terrible, and then EA makes an announcement, everybody's, oh, God, they saved us, and now I can stop getting this shitty thing. I feel like people need to learn how to balance things a little better.
Yeah. Blake Griffin was the last NCAA football or basketball cover.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, 10 years ago.
That's the other crazy thing about this, to think how long ago this was. I was 22 when the last one came out. So think about somebody that's 20 now. The last NCAA came out when they were 12. That's just,
wow.
That's fucking bonkers, and there's a good chance they didn't play it. I think this is different than a lot of games reviving because NCAA football in real life is so relevant that even if you had no clue the game was a thing, I think you'd just be excited. Oh, college football has a game? But it's weird to process that a lot of people, by the time this come out, well, by the time this comes out especially, because it's not this year and maybe not even next year, it could be more than a decade without them ever seeing an NCAA game, potentially never seeing it.
Depending on when it came out, it'd been 19 or 20, depending on what month it came out. Yeah, that's weird to think about.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like I said, it's even weirder to think about people that are younger, like think about people that are like 20 or something. I'm like, oh my God, I'm so excited. I'm like, oh shit, they might not even fucking know that this was a game, which might sound like a joke and like an old man kind of thing to say, but I think it's very reasonable I'm sure there's 12-year-olds playing it, but I think it's very reasonable. I think a lot of 12-year-olds weren't playing NCAA, and that's assuming they were there for the last year. If you're going back farther than they're even younger, obviously.
So it was 2013, right?
Yeah, and then, 14 is the last one, right? Yeah, so 13, and then they usually come out, I think, in like August, by June, no, July, because the season usually starts in August.
Okay,
So
I was getting ready to turn 20.
Yeah, that's why I had to figure out if I was 23 or 22, but based on when the game came out.
Yeah, that's weird to think about, man.
Yeah. I looked it up, by the way. There's 130 teams, so I was off. And if they've already got 100, that means they're almost got all the teams, which is pretty impressive. And I would imagine the more they build on this, the more they'll be able to recruit other schools in. And also, unless you're a fan of one of those teams, I don't think anybody would notice if 30 teams was missing, because I'm sure it's like the bottom rung teams if they're not in on it by now, which would suck if you're a fan of there. If you go there to go, oh man, but besides that, I don't think it really matters if you're missing those teams. But yeah, I'm super excited. Like I said, the only real concerns I have is if they are smart and keep what made NCAA so good and different than Madden. The name is a bummer, but I don't think really a game changer. And then I think if they could get the stuff with the likeness figured out, no matter our views on how they handle it, if they could actually have a player, I think obviously they could have the players' names, the announcers being able to say the names, everything looking right. Because I know there's always generic pictures for sure. They would never actually look like them. It's just generic black or white guy. So that was always a little awkward. I know that was always there. So maybe the names really weren't there. But I think that it'd be hard to argue no matter how you feel about the payments that wouldn't make the game better by having the likeness in full as far as the names and be able to have their pictures and everything. I think that obviously by default makes the game better. So hopefully, since there's a ways out and it sounded like there was a lot going on legally, maybe I should be figured out and they'll have a full likeness by then. But we'll see.
Hopefully they don't cancel it, man.
Oh,
something weird happens. They have to cancel it.
Oh, sorry. There was one more thing. I really wish. I'm kind of shocked that they didn't save this for some kind of press conference, even if it wasn't EA.
Oh, yeah.
I mean E3, not EA. E3 would have been the coolest because every year people are like, are they going to bring it back? And they didn't. And there's rumors. And something like this, I don't know why they didn't hold out. It didn't seem like anything was leaking. There was no real information about it. I'm surprised they didn't hold out at least till like an EA press conference. One more thing, especially because they didn't have much detail. They could have just literally thrown up the logo and let people go crazy. And if that was during E3, that would have been so fucking crazy. I think even a lot of people in our friend group would recognize how nuts that was, even if they don't care about football. Just because everybody knows how long it's been gone, how big of a deal it is.
Yeah.
But that's it. I know I rambled enough.
Oh, you're good, buddy. Next article is from PC Gamer. Gearbox has been bought by Embracer Group in a $1.3 billion deal, which, by the way, I looked up this group. Thank God they're not Chinese investors. They're like Swedish.
Is that where they're from?
Let me look it up before I get too crazy. But yes, thank God. I'm sure Tencent would have loved to have grabbed them. Embracer Group. Karlstad. Established under the name Nordic Games. Game Outlet Europe. There's whoa, this is a weird company. God damn. Yeah, I didn't know THQ Nordic is this nuts. So their parent is Game Outlet Europe, Nordic Games Group, and then they became THQ Nordic, like we know today, with all their. But it looks like they took on this like Embracer Group thing. Karlstad, where is that at? Is that German?
Sounds like it would be, but I don't actually know.
Sweden.
Oh.
Is that what I said? Sweden?
Yeah.
Swedish? I thought so. I'm not shocked by this, though.
No?
There's been some flops and weird shit happening to them with their... Randy Pitchford always seems to be doing something weird over there. Doing some sort of a PR fuck-up. Gearbox Entertainment has been snapped up by... Oh, Swedish, if I just kept fucking reading.
I didn't remember those in the article.
Formerly THQ Nordic, for a tidy $1.3 billion. But doesn't Tencent own part of THQ Nordic?
Not sure. I wouldn't be shocked because it seems like they own
Fuck,
part of everything.
I forgot all about that. Tencent, THQ Nordic. I guarantee you, they have to. They've got the little fucking hands and everything. Let's see. Someone's complaining on Twitter. Everyone talking about how Tencent. Oh, look at your profile pic, bro. I know who you work for. Tencent is buying every game company. Meanwhile, Embracer Group, THQ Nordic, out here acquiring 18 game companies over the past 4 years. I felt like I felt like it was more than that. You know?
Well, I think a lot of the announcements that people talked about were IPs that they're acquiring, though, like buying the rights to names.
I gotcha.
And I remember, this might even been our old podcast. I don't know, was Colin's podcast going then? I remember we might talk off podcast, because this was like a running joke on Colin's podcast. He was always hating on THQ. I remember me and you saying how cool this was, and we thought it was awesome, and it was weird that they were acquiring all this stuff, and how is it going to work?
Yeah.
But I remember me and you both being like, this is fucking awesome. This seems like this could be potential to be like the next big thing, or at least like the middle ground games that never come out anymore. And I think Colin said on the newest podcast that they own the most studios and game companies of any company in gaming right now.
Jeez, man. The company announced it had 118 games in development. Though that figure has likely skyrocketed since. The biggest game in its slate right now is Biomutant. Gearbox has been sitting comfortably since launching Borderlands 3 last year. With the Eli Roth Borderlands movie recently picking up comedian Kevin Hart. Still odd to say.
Did you see they also casted what's her name? Jamie Lee Curtis in the movie?
Really?
I can't remember what character she's playing, and then I forgot to say it. She was already casted. The girl from Lord of the Rings, Kate Blanchett, is that Blanchett?
Right.
Yeah, she was in it as well. So they're always getting big names. They all sound kind of weird for a Borderlands movie, but hopefully the fact that it can acquire big names means it has potential, maybe.
Yeah, I hope so. As the proud publisher of Borderlands franchise, we're happy for our partners at Gearbox, and this is exciting news talking about 2K. The merger does not change 2K's relationship with Gearbox, nor our role as publisher for Borderlands IP. So it looks like 2K's not... Surprised 2K didn't try to buy them.
Yeah, me too, and it's weird because, EA, and not EA, Jesus, it's stuck on my mind now. 2K, I guess they're still going to make the Borderlands games with Gearbox, which is weird. They're owned by another company. I would assume that would all transfer over.
Or they would have bought the Borderlands rights.
Yeah.
Which I honestly feel like by far there's nothing even comes close. That is equivalent to Borderlands. I feel like Gearbox is Borderlands.
You mean like for games they have?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think namesake definitely Duke Nukem, and
True.
I don't know if they own Alien. They seem to make all the games now.
I think that's Sega.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so
Sega
Alien would
had
definitely be a bigger name as far as property, but Borderlands is definitely more successful and relevant than Duke Nukem. I just feel like in gaming history, Duke Nukem is definitely bigger.
Wasn't
Battleborn.
Battleborn, that was probably the first little chink in their armor.
That's racist to say now.
Oh, that's true. Especially because we're just talking about Tencent. From Engadget, Sony has already sold more than 4.5 million PS5s. Make sure we're still recording.
Yeah.
Sony never seemed to have enough PlayStation 5 stock since it launched. Yeah, no kidding, man. This is like getting to like the Wii levels of shit not being in stock.
That lasted like a year and a half, though, didn't it?
Was it a year and a half?
I think so. So
Maybe
it sounds
a little
bad,
dramatic.
but like I said, I thought they'd start being on shelves by like the end of March. It doesn't seem like that's going to be the case, but it does seem like even though they're selling out right away, I feel like almost every day now I see companies posting how they'll have them for sale. I feel like there's like a month where there's just nothing. There's just no chance to get one. So I feel like maybe it's starting to trend to becoming a normal thing, hopefully.
Holy cow, man. Managed to sell 4.5 million of the consoles in 2020, matching PS4's sales during the console's 2013 launch quarter. Combined with sales of 1.4 million PS4 units, Sony's gaming business has a fiscal quarter in the history with 183 billion yen, $8.4 billion, up 40% in the previous year, or 2019. Profits were also up 50% to 80.2 billion yen due to increased game sales. Oh man, they're just killing it over there. I wish Microsoft released more of this information. You know, like
Yeah.
consoles.
I know Colin was talking about that on his podcast, and he said that must not be good news that they're not talking about it, but I don't see that can be bad news because they're sold out too. So can't imagine they're not doing well.
Yeah, granted the Facebook Marketplace, the what is that called? The street prices are huge. Like you could probably pick up an Xbox on Marketplace for $600 or $700, whereas PS5s, I swear, are always over $1,000. So I think that says a lot. But yeah, you're right. The Xbox has been sold out.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. I kind of worry about PlayStation though, or Sony in general, because it seems like all their eggs are in a basket now. Whereas it used to be a pretty dominant company.
Yeah.
In all facets of electronics. Nintendo reportedly canceled a Zelda Netflix series after it leaked. Which makes no sense. It's a live action. It's funny IGN's reporting on this. I remember they got me with that.
Me too. Especially because it looked like it could be good. So.
Yeah, it looks so real.
Uh-huh.
I think it's right about the time I started looking at IGN.
All right.
Paying attention to it too. Yeah, so there was
Yeah.
There was no reason not to. As reported by Eurogamer US comedian Adam Canaver, where a secret Star Fox claymation project around the same time. Wow, claymation would look beautiful with Star Fox.
And that's part of why I think this is true, because they were doing all that weird claymation shit during E3. They had some Star Fox ones that they showed.
Wasn't that puppets?
Yeah, theirs was puppets, I guess. But wasn't all the Reggie stuff, wasn't that claymation, or was that puppets?
I feel like it was puppets.
Yeah, it was.
Now. But yeah, I feel like that looks so beautiful in clay, like real solid claymation.
Mm-hmm.
Suddenly, the reports Netflix wasn't going to do Legend of Zelda anymore. He recently recalled speaking on the Surf Times podcast. I was like, "What happened?" And then I heard from a boss we weren't doing our Star Fox anymore. I was like, "What happened?" And he was like, "Someone at Netflix leaked the Legend of Zelda thing. They weren't supposed to talk about it. Nintendo freaked out and they pulled the plug on everything. The entire program adapted these things. And what happened?" No, I'm just kidding. He didn't say it anymore. News of the prospective live-action Legend of Zelda series with Netflix hit headlines back in 2015, when a person familiar with the matter reportedly told Wall Street Journal that the streamer had described the upcoming show as a Game of Thrones for a family audience. Dude, Game of Thrones is very family-oriented.
Was that the end of that? I can't remember.
Yep.
Okay, I thought so. Yeah, that sounds like a very Nintendo kind of thing. Wait, they figured out about it? Cancel it.
Yeah.
Just seems so Japanese. Like, well, people know about it. It's ruined now.
Yeah.
But I think people would have still been just excited. If they did it right, could have been a hit.
It would have been a massive hit.
Yeah. Especially because, again, kind of talk about The Last of Us, you get a whole audience of people just like the nerdy, like fantasy shit. And Zelda's obviously a bigger property than The Last of Us. How about the PlayStation thing before that? I can't believe they sold that many consoles. Every time people are like, consoles are dead, and this generation, I didn't think they were dead, but I also, this might be the beginning of the end, and the fucking fact that they're just selling as many as PS4 already, I'm like, oh my god, especially with the supply constraints that are happening right now.
Yeah, I feel like since, I don't know, for the last decade I've been hearing.
Yeah.
And then every like PC gamer is like, dude, I don't even know why you mess with these consoles. I'm over here in heaven.
Update my drivers and buy new parts every 2 seconds.
Yeah. I like all of it, man.
Oh, me too. We're using my PC for this right now.
It's so nice too, just turn on a console and just have the UI and everything set up like it's supposed to be.
I don't know if you saw, talk about Borderlands there, but they put Tales from the Borderlands back on the storefronts online. Like on the, because it was off the Xbox and PlayStation stores because it was Telltale's game.
Oh, nice.
And all of them went off, so I can't remember what they call a new company that Telltale revived, but I think it's a good sign that old stuff's coming back.
I'm glad you brought this up because I was watching a YouTube video of a guy going back and trying Anthem recently.
Okay.
From Gamerant, EA deciding whether to continue or cancel Anthem 2.0. I think you should just cancel it and cut your losses at this point. It's no secret that Anthem had a rough launch, practically becoming the poster child for a failed game launch. Quickly became one of the most panned BioWare games in the company's history, second only to the mobile game. Shortly after release, it was revealed that a lot about Anthem was really put together until its E3 2017 trailer, which was largely faked. That was a cool, kick-ass trailer, though. Development of Anthem didn't really begin until the last 18 months before the launch. Damn. With large portions of the game being rushed. The plan since then, it seems, was to attempt to turn the game around by rebooting it, which would have been called Anthem Next or Anthem 2.0. However, development on that has only been worked on by a 30-man team in recent... Oh, that's so... 30 men. 30 men. Which would be like 20 years ago. It would be like, that's a huge team.
Yeah.
But there's been silence around it, and that's concerning. A new report from Bloomberg now indicates that the fate of Anthem will be soon decided. EA will be holding meetings sometime the week of February 8th on whether it will continue development on revamping Anthem or effectively canceling it. Let's see here. They're just talking about Daily moving on from to Dragon Age 4. There's not much known, but EA will reportedly be making the decision by looking in the latest version of the game. It seems the specific choice will be whether to invest and expand the 30-man team for the project or abandon it altogether. According to Bloomberg source, continued work on Anthem Next will need to at least triple the size of the team in order to make a new content and continue overhauling mechanics. Yeah, I think it's just done. I don't know what Anthem 2.0 would do. It's not like people go out and buy it or try it again.
Yeah, I hope it's not canceled because I think the game has a lot of promise already, even with its issues. I think if you had 90 people and years of playing the game and seeing what was wrong with it, it could be something really special. But as far as a business end, yeah, that's why I think it falls apart and probably won't happen, because if they had to up the team to 90 people and they're at 30, I can't see them investing that kind of money into it. And I think we've seen a lot of games flip over. I mentioned No Man's Sky earlier. There's a lot of games that have launched and been failures and then turned into hits. Fucking Fortnite was probably unbelievable people here now, but that game was a flop. It was supposed to be what was Epic's next game after Gears of War, and it was propped as the next big thing, and it launched without Battle Royale, and everybody was, what the hell is this thing? And they added Battle Royale, and it blew up. So there's a lot of stories like that where it turns around. I think Anthem had the potential to do that, but I think unfortunately it's too late now. I would still try, and I'd be thrilled to see. Like I said, I think they could learn a lot from it.
Wasn't that Final Fantasy 14 too, where they did that?
Yeah, I've heard that as well for that one.
So yeah, I mean, you could have that on your hands, but
I think the only possible way that could work now is if they went free to play and then just market it like crazy to get people just like it was a brand new game. Because I don't think you're going to get everybody go out and buy it because you say you got a new update for it. But I think that's still a big risk if you're talking about just on the company's end. I don't think if I was in charge, I would do that. Even though I'd like to, because I'd like to see what it is. But if I was actually like money-wise, I don't think that's what I would do.
yeah, you don't want to have to do Anthem 2 and then put the Anthem 1 campaign in there.
Yeah.
From Game Informer, ESA promises new details soon following E3 2021. COVID-19 caused most in-person events to be canceled last year, and with the vaccines only now beginning to roll out, 2021 will continue carrying out digital alternatives to bring communities together. E3 2021 will be continuing on its all-digital front this year again. The ESA confirms to us they will have more details to share regarding what this means for gamers. Man. That sucks. But also I don't think vaccines are going to save shit, man. Because they're already talking about those, the South African and the English or the UK version. And does this mean now we all have to have vaccines before we can do any of this stuff? Or say you want to do PAX and you have to have your vaccine to come in here?
I think so. Everybody says not how it's going to be, but I think so.
The company is looking to host a 3-day live stream event that will take place between June 15th to 17th. According to the deck provided, there will be several 2-hour keynote sessions for gamers to enjoy, much like the Coliseum during the actual in-person event. And this is a quote: "We can confirm that we are transforming the E3 experience for 2021 and will soon share exact details on how we're bringing the global video game community together." Whoa. We're having a great conversation with publishers, developers, and companies across the board, and we look forward to sharing details about their involvement soon.
Thank you, Richard Nixon.
I'm not a crook. The information also revealed that shows off the plans for playable demos as well as thousands of meetings that will... Playable demos, how's that work?
I'm guessing probably like they've done on the Game Awards or EA's events where they're on, you can unlock these demos for a limited amount of time, and you have to just go in the Xbox store, I imagine.
Thousands of meetings. Well, we're real concerned about Corona. Members of the media can schedule beforehand, much like the actual event itself in years prior.
Maybe they're virtual meetings and you can get more filters up in there. All talking like cats. Yeah, this news is a bummer in one way and exciting in another way, because it's a bummer that the event isn't what it was and isn't like a massive in-person thing and like a spectacle, because I think that's what always made it so important and relevant, that like all the major outlets followed it, not like video game outlets, but CNN and all these places that care less about video games. It always brought attention to people that don't care about games and would never look at games. And I feel like doing something like this, they're not going to pay attention unless maybe a new console or huge games are announced. And it sucks that my dream was always going to go to E3. So hopefully that will be a thing at some point. But yeah, that obviously not this year. But I'm sure I wouldn't have gone this year. I'm just saying that it does suck in that aspect. But at least it does seem like we're getting digital E3, because that's what we talked about last year. That made no sense why you couldn't do that. And then they kind of end up having, I know it wasn't hosted by ESA, but they pretty much had E3 just spanned across the entire year and spread everything out and did all these separate press conferences, but
yeah,
made everything way more anticlimactic and not as exciting. So they didn't really specify if everybody's on board with that, if Microsoft and everybody's going to be there. I hope they are, because I feel like if not, then it's going to be even more anticlimactic. But if we get all that and they still have the press conferences and it's like the same in that aspect, we're not actually missing much. As much as I would like to go E3, and I hope I do, what we always called E3 wasn't even actually a show. Those were like the days before E3 opened, and E3 was all the in-person stuff and the demos you could watch later and the playable demos. So we were actually watching pre-E3, so we were never actually part of E3 really. So for us, I think if we still get that, that's the main thing that we were focused on anyways. But I think the one thing we would lose is if they're just going to all do Nintendo Directs, because that's definitely a part of the in-person that affected us, was seeing the crowd and hearing what came from that, which I don't think you're going to have that, unfortunately. But I think the biggest positive out of the potential bummer news, like I said, is that hopefully it's a celebration of games and all the news in like a 3-day span instead of spread out throughout the year and not very exciting.
Yeah. And I feel like it's just way easier for them to not have such cringy moments.
Yeah. Yeah, so scripted and don't have anybody there to pressure you on or
film it multiple times.
Yeah.
Edit it.
Yeah, because these people aren't known for talking, and then we go put them on stage in front of 1,000 people staring at them. I would do the same thing.
Yeah,
it's easy to be like, this fucking idiot, but well, it's out there. Shit, and especially when it used to be even less scripted, and like they would actually playing the games, and because most times they're holding a controller and not actually playing it. It's kind of like lip syncing now.
Yeah.
But when they do that, like controller disconnect, and they have to play it off and like make a bad joke, and it's easy to make fun of them. But yeah, what the fuck do you do in that situation?
What was that girl she said that one year about? Yes, that was an achievement.
Oh, yeah. See, those are kind of things that aren't okay. That's just taking it way farther than you need to. Yeah. Yeah, that's right. I got an achievement on my iPad at E3. And
oh, my God. Playing Minecraft.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's all the news, buddy.
That's it. I think that worked better. I think the more we do that, more streamlined I'll get. And also there's a shitload of news because me and Ryan didn't read all the news last week after the train wreck. So that's kind of a mixture of like 2 weeks of news and a little outdated with NCAA and whatnot. There's not real news stories, so I just put a couple things in here. Mass Effect had a lot of stuff come out about the remastered trilogy. And it seems like they're doing almost exactly what I was hoping for. I know you said at the time you prefer the games to be exactly as they were. Like I said, I don't want them to change what makes the game what it was at the time, but I'm totally okay with quality of life changes and actually prefer it. Like the elevator rides being almost a minute long, which was long then. It was noticeable, but now it'll be unbelievable to have that. Or like the Mako, the ship you ride, the controls in that and the physics always made no sense. So it seems like they're actually fixing a lot of that. I didn't think they would. I thought it was just going to be graphical. So I'm more excited for it. The one downside, you might have seen this kind of turn into a meme, that they also fixed camera angles. And they said they had to do this to fix the game overall. But I don't know if I believe it, because all the news stories about how the camera angles won't be centered around Miranda's ass. Have you seen those? Yeah. And she was the hottest character by far. And I noticed it was so obvious at the time it was not sly and wasn't like, oh, the camera's in a weird spot. They clearly are doing it on purpose. So I feel like they went out of their way knowing how people would react now, which it sucks they had to do that, but also I guess you can't blame them, because if that comes out and that's what your fucking story is about your game, it's going to kill sales and all the talk's going to be negativity. But to spin it as you had to do that because camera angles were breaking other aspects, I think is probably untrue. And sad that it was taken away. And then there's stuff that I'm glad they fixed, but is sad. Like Commander Shepard always had these dead eyes at certain points because the Unreal Engine, so he'd just fucking death stare you or stare off in the distance. And they fixed that. That kind of stuff I think is good, but was funny in the moment. Or did you ever see the one from Mass Effect 3 where his head started spinning around? It was like Exorcist, but like 100 miles per hour.
That sounds familiar.
Yeah, so they fix. I'm sure bugs are gonna happen, but they fix those things being like a general problem. I never had those happen. Well, death stare, the dead eyes, I definitely had happen. That was very common. Or they would have, since you could pick a male or female shepherd, they didn't change all the postures and everything. So like when he'd sit down, he would man spread entirely too large, and she would do the same thing. So they fixed a lot of that stuff that. I don't care about feminism or anything like that. It just felt really weird with that kind of stuff. Didn't seem like that's how a girl would act. So I think all that's good. More than I expected. There's no multiplayer, which I like the multiplayer. I know a lot of people hated on it, but I said at the time I didn't think multiplayer would be in here. I'm not surprised. It was never popular to begin with. And I feel like it was fun at the time, but I think it would feel really dated now. So I'm not surprised they didn't put that in there. All the DLCs in there, except I don't know if you saw this Pinnacle Station, which I couldn't tell you all the DLCs anymore, but I think I remember that being one of my favorites. That one didn't make it, and they said it's because the source code was corrupted, which fucking sucks. And I can't imagine all the hard work they did. Man, we're gonna have every piece of content in here. And, all right, guess that Pinnacle Station. I guess I can't imagine being that guy who's like testing it. That'd fucking suck. And it sucks because it's kind of like I said, kind of like a historical thing, bringing it all together.
Yeah.
So it sucks that that's kind of just lost in time now.
I'm sure they could do it, bring it back from scratch.
Oh, yeah. They did talk about that. They said to be able to do that, I don't want to exaggerate. I think they said it would take 6 months to be able to do that to get it from. So as cool as it'd be to have that in there, I can't blame them. I imagine the resources on that would be crazy just to have one piece of DLC in there. Maybe it could be something they could add in at some point, which would be cool.
Yeah, man. Damn. It's like some Sega Saturn shit.
Yeah. And then the only other thing was Gina Carano, right? Is her name? The girl who got kicked off of Mandalorian.
Oh, yeah.
And then talk about that when you're talking about them. About Pascal, because he's on Mandalorian. She got booted off the Mandalorian today. Sad news. I think it's kind of fucking bonkers. I know you told me some stuff that I didn't know before that, but from everything I saw, it was very tame.
Oh my god. This is Google. This is their alert.
What's that?
This is like, so if you like Google her name, they'll like try to quickly tell you what's going on with her. The Mandalorian star, Gina Carano, accused of racism. Fired. I'm
surprised they didn't say. I'm surprised threw accused in there, though.
Yeah.
That's surprising that they acknowledge that.
Let's see. I'm trying to find it, man. It might have even been deleted. Oh, gosh. So corny. She said, I'm watching tonight's movie 300. The world we will know that the Freemen stood against a tyrant. Yeah, she was sharing like a picture of, like we talked about, that famous picture of the Jewish woman, I believe, getting chased by Hitler Youth and stripped of her clothes and probably raped and murdered not soon after that. And she compared that to herself. But yeah, it's a little bit dramatic on her part. But it's also really dramatic on Disney's part too.
Yeah, it's definitely dramatic on her part. I don't think you can really defend that if we're just talking fairly. Because I didn't know that stuff till you told me before this. But yeah, I think even if you're being fair about that, I feel like you have to think about, if you looked at all the stuff she said before, from everything I saw, it was very tame and just kind of her opinions on things, but you can't really have different opinions. Like she was labeled anti-masker because she talked about how she thinks some of this stuff is overblown, and she never said don't wear a mask, said she doesn't. She didn't say anything like that, and that's how she was labeled, so...
Well, initially, too, it started with because she wouldn't put her gender pronouns on her profile.
Yeah.
That's I think the very first thing when the SGW was like, we have to get her fired.
Yeah. So, even though she was dramatic and that didn't make it okay, I feel like, at a certain point when people are just treating you like that over and over, you're like, shit, I got to fire back in some way, because just being normal and nice and explaining my point of view clearly isn't going anywhere, so I'll just feed into the nonsense, too, and make it worse, which... does make it worse, so like I said, I'm not defending it, and you shouldn't be like that, because it does just make it worse, but I get how that can happen, just being like, what the fuck do I do?
And just the constant beratement on Twitter, too, would get old as fuck.
Uh-huh.
Somebody should have stepped in and been like, bro, you need to get the fuck off social media.
Yeah, especially they were talking for a little bit about having a spin-off show with her, so I'm sure I would have. I mean, she probably already has a shitload of money. She was a fighter before this, too, but that would obviously made her a lot more wealthy than she ever could have been.
Yeah, man.
Having her own spin-off Star Wars show.
I really liked her in Mandalorian, too.
I did, too, and I think it's going to be kind of weird to see how the show handles it, but maybe they'll tie it in. Maybe, where's she at? Well, she had being racist to the fucking droids, so we sent her home.
We got her out of here, man. She fucking wouldn't put her gender pronouns. So we said, listen, bitch. I bet those fucking the army of SGWs on Twitter are like, yes, we got one. High five. Do you think it's because they feel powerful or like virtue signaling? I don't get why this stuff happens. I feel like just life's too good. We got to find something.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the next segment? We could get into what we're playing?
Media pickups are next,
media
which I know
pickups.
you're excited.
Before we get into that, because
Yeah.
this is what made me think about it. I've been playing Battlefield 5,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a mission where you're a Nazi pilot defending like civilian factories and train stations from getting bombed. This memory had rushed back to me. I totally forgot. When my stepmom and my dad were getting married at their engagement party, it was real corny, like the Etsy, not Etsy, but Pinterest games, go do this,
Yeah.
and it's like, I don't not involved with this. So I started talking to her aunt's boyfriend, Luis, I think his name was, really cool guy. We just started talking about where he came from and stuff, and he was from Germany, and he was a little kid, 12 years old or something when the war was happening, and it blew my mind because I never heard that perspective from the German side, what happened. And when the Third Reich or the German Empire started falling, they were really afraid of getting captured by the Soviets. The Soviets wanted revenge, and they're raping, murdering, killing people, just doing real fucked up shit to everybody as revenge. So his dad he had a pig, and pretty much they butchered all of his animals and gathered up all their food they possibly could to give to the starving Nazi soldiers to get his family on a train. Granted, I was asking all this shit while people around me are just like, oh my God, wasn't that crazy? What a great game we had there. How well do the couple know each other? And he's just telling me this fucking insane story. And just to hear that side of things, you never hear the Nazi side. He wasn't a Nazi, of course. They're just fucking German people trying to live. And most of the Wehrmacht weren't fucking Nazis. Now I'm a Nazi denier. Cancel me, I guess, right? But just hearing that perspective of it. So he butchers all his animals, and they gather up all the food they can to give to the Nazi soldiers to get his family on a train so they could head towards Berlin to where they're more protected. And Battlefield 5 is trying to tell the story of the Luftwaffe trying to defend the factories and trains from there. So his family are on a train, and I think the trains had stopped to take a break or something. And it sucks too because he's since passed away, so I can't. He had made such a cool YouTube video, I think. I kind of fucked up. I shouldn't have done this, but I was like, man, just tell me, what was the craziest thing you saw? You don't have to answer me. I'm a piece of shit for even asking this, but you don't have to answer. And so he told me this story of the trains. I think the trains, but there's multiple trains. They all stopped. They were Nazi trains. And there was there was a few soldiers on there, wounded soldiers or something, but there was no soldiers on there. It was all civilians. And he said everyone was super spread out, but then the Americans started bombing the trains. So then the conductors are like, fuck, we gotta get out of here. And then I think the German civilians were trying to run from the trains too, because that's what the Americans were targeting, to fuck up the infrastructure of the Nazi war machine or whatever. And they were known for bombing factories, and there was no soldiers there. just to prevent them from having sort of any infrastructure. So they're getting bombed. It might even have been Russian planes. I think it was Americans though, because it's weird. They like talking to somebody that was fucking bombed by Americans. It was weird to talk to them. Like when you talk to veterans, it's always the American side. So the trains start taking off, and there's people everywhere. So he said he just watched people just get run the fuck over by these trains, just chopped up. And trains, I think the trains has gotten blown up, and like he's talking about hearing like the machine gun noises and the bullets hitting around him and shit blowing up. And then like the train stopped that night, and he said they had to stay where they were, stay the night, and listening to the people that got run over by the trains but didn't die, just all night, just screaming and slowly dying. I was like, holy fucking shit. And like my dad and stepmom are going, hey, how's it going, guys? Man, you guys are really buddied up over here. You guys talk the whole time. That's great. And I was fucking just staring at the distance like, God damn. Then they moved here, and they insert Casey joke, but they moved to Cleveland after the Americans liberated them. And unfortunately, they fell on the American side, not the Soviet side.
That's surprising. They moved to Cleveland.
It's one war zone to another. No, it was just a crazy perspective here. But the reason why I wanted to mention this while we're talking about people getting canceled and stuff, talking to that generation of humanity, and like to think about like the millennials problem, we're like complaining about syrup. Like, oh, there's this black lady on syrup, or there's an Indian on our butter, or this lady won't publicly display her gender pronouns, or this woman put super glue in her hair and somehow that's related to race. Meanwhile, this guy just told me this fucking story of surviving World War II, running from the Soviets, and then getting bombed by the Americans, and being a 12-year-old and listening up to all these chopped up people. And he said they were like little kids, got run over by the train, and because the train had to get the fuck out of there before they got blown up. And
yeah,
whew, that's a different breed of humans. We're very lucky that this is what we're worried about. Your biggest concern is that your dumbass put fucking super glue in your hair. We got it pretty fucking good. I think that's what it is. There's not enough problems, and we have to invent problems because life is too good. But yeah, that truly was the greatest generation of humans, because that is some fucked up shit. Just any of those things. But yeah, he had some other stories mixed in there too. I can't remember. I wish I would have recorded it or talked to him more. A really cool guy. He died of another like badass story, but he died of bone marrow cancer and had bone marrow transplant, which I hear is super painful. But yeah, whole different breed of humans. Like, that's not even that generation, man. To get through a fucking Great Depression and World War II, and then we're over here like, oh, there's a Native American on my butter. The fucking holy shit, man. Yeah, this sports team, it's called the fucking Indians. Oh, really? Because I listen to people get chopped up by a train and explode. Yeah. So that's where I forgot that even happened until I played Battlefield 5 this week. So should we talk about what we're playing?
You want to talk about your media pickups, right?
Sure. There's way too many. How many do you think I have?
The fact that you said a lot probably means like 30.
70.
I thought I was saying a lot. I was going to say a ridiculous number, but I thought 30 was like a realistic, ridiculous number.
For Valentine's Day, Renee got me something I've been wanting since I was like a freshman in high school when I first saw it. So like 12, 13 years ago is Kurt Cobain's diary. They published it, made it into a book. It's pretty sick. Like, they just scanned his little diary, so it looks like a notebook, his actual notebook. So I've been going through that. And it kind of starts off when he's like dead ass broke, and
Well, he's not dead ass. You know?
hey. And then I got Ready Player 2. Picked it up for $9 at Target.
Are you actually gonna read it, or are you just gonna wait and get audiobook?
I'll get the audiobook. I figured for $9, so I'll support him.
Oh no. Oh yeah, I wasn't saying that condescendingly. I thought you might be doing that. That's why I asked.
Oh, for sure. That's how I do it. Then DVDs. I got lucky. There's a rare the Beetle juice from fucking Beetle from Howard Stern show.
They had some taste there for a second. Really,
Fuck.
Beatles.
God damn it, no. But for some reason, Goodwill's been uploading a lot of their shit, or selling a lot of their shit on eBay, and they have a race to the bottom. Normally it's like a $50, $60 DVD, and for some reason they put it up for $14. I think they quickly realized their mistake because they took down the other one.
Yeah.
Suppose this one's on the way to me, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Then I picked up Fire in the Sky, which I already watched. It's probably one of the few alien abduction stories that I actually believe. I strongly recommend. I'll get more into that when we can talk about what we watched. Evil Dead Steelbook, Hairspray, the original Hairspray, A Quiet Place. Then I picked up the Firefly TV show complete Blu-ray collection. Then Alien, the 6 film collection Blu-ray.
That's funny. It was Alien earlier. You had 6 questions with it. Look at that.
6 films. Anger Management, great movie.
I said over easy.
She's the Man, which Renee wanted. That
I bet she wants a man, yeah.
What's that fucking crazy girl in there? Amanda Bynes.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say, I could picture in my head.
She's also wanting to pick up all the Adam Sandler movies, so we got Grown Ups as well. I got real lucky at Goodwill today. It's Mystery Science 3000. Their DVDs are not cheap, and they're usually pretty collectible. For some reason, someone had donated their collection. I picked up 9 of them.
Very nice.
Then we also got 50 First Dates, another great movie. Eagle Eye. Dirty Jobs Volume 3. I fucking love that show. Do you ever watch that show?
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of it. It was okay. I always thought the guy seemed really fake and kind of douchey. But,
What?
yeah, I always felt that way. But then something changed my mind, not just because I liked them, but because they would have no reason to back him up. Giant Bombcast podcast we listened to, they said that they were having an office party when they first opened Giant Bomb. And they said Mike Rowe walked in. He's like, "You guys partying here?" "Nah." "Yeah, you in the wrong building, or what's up? You might have a party with you?" And they said that he just partied with them all night and talked to him and asked him what the company was. And they said that he was really genuine and wasn't like talking down to him about it being an outlet that covers gaming. And they said that he just hung out with them all night.
That's awesome, man.
And they said not just because I like them, so I'm like, oh, well, now I trust it. But the fact that he'd have no reason, there's no cameras, and he'd have no reason to just fake being nice like that.
Yeah, he's I always loved Dirty Jobs, but you should follow his social media, man. He's got a really good Facebook account. He's super conservative, and, but a well-based conservative, not like the election was a fraud and blah blah blah. But he's also very pro-business, so I bet that's why he also was like really interested in their company and was genuine.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's pretty conservative. And that's kind of why he did Dirty Jobs, is because he like wanted to know about all these small businesses around America. And he seems so nice. So when you said douchey, that was like, no, don't say that. Take it back. He's a beautiful man. But yeah, I strongly recommend you follow his Facebook account. He does books now too.
No, does he?
Yeah. The Longest Yard.
Great movie, underrated.
Joey Diaz is in that movie.
The remake, right?
Yeah. Adam Sandler. Renee's trying to complete her Adam Sandler collection.
That's what I was guessing.
Legend series with Alfred Hitchcock, which is a bunch of like, I forget how many movies in it, but it's like some unknown Alfred Hitchcock movies. This weird BBC TV show called Family Towers. I watched some clips on YouTube and found it at Goodwill, the complete collection. I found this one. I guess it's out of print, so it's kind of rare. So I might sell it on eBay,
Mm-hmm.
just mainly because it's sealed. But Idiocracy, did you ever watch that? Mike Judge.
Yeah, I watched it. I hated that movie.
Really?
Yeah.
I liked it.
I can't say it's bad. It's just too depressing. Not even like, that's our society now. It's just too fucking weird for me.
Borat, which I have a copy of it, but it's at my mom's house. Figure might as well. And then since I bought, Renee bought a book at Target, and since I got Ready Player 2, they said we could get a free movie or book for free, and so I picked up King of Staten Island.
Still haven't watched that Pete Davidson movie.
Yeah,
Judd Apatow.
yeah. So I'm all about that. So if you want to borrow it, buddy.
Okay.
I think it's also on Hulu though too.
Thought it was somewhere. Yeah. I
Yeah.
need to watch it, but
And then on Wii, we'll get to the video games. I got Goosebumps Horrorland. On the original Xbox, I found. Did you ever see the? I love these controllers as a kid, and I guess they're kind of collectible now. But the Alien Infection controller.
I don't think so.
I think I showed you a picture of this. I think you'll remember it. It was crazy to find it at a pawn shop. I think it's called Alien Infection. Let me just make sure. Yeah, this guy. Original Xbox.
I don't think I've seen that.
Really?
Doesn't look familiar. I feel like something like that would stick out.
But yeah, they're kind of rare now. I mean, as you see by these fucking prices.
Yeah.
I found it for $30 at a pawn shop, so I said yes, please. I remember seeing this. There's a few controllers I remember seeing that had this ridiculous design that I'm sure they're terrible to play with. But yeah, I picked that up. And then Teen Titans on the Xbox, which incredibly rare game, well sought after game that I remember specifically picking up on day one with one of my friends and loving. But the original Xbox version, if you guys have it, if anyone's listening, it's a very expensive game now. Probably one of the most expensive original Xbox games. I bid on a Canadian posting. So the Canadian dollar is way... it's not much buying power compared to the U.S. dollar. So it's a good way to get games, by the way, if you look at Canadian postings.
Mm-hmm.
The shipping is where they'll get you, but usually pick up games cheaper. So excited to finally get that, man. I've been really wanting that. And then at Goodwill today, sealed Tom Clancy Classic Trilogy. It's almost a 20-year-old game sealed. I might... Ooh. Is that your stomach?
It was.
That's hot. Sound like a diarrhea. You got diarrhea?
No. I wonder if that comes through on the mic or not.
Yeah, like a diarrhea gurgle. That was like I thought you were going to take off real quick. I might open it, though. It's not an expensive game, but it'd be kind of cool to open. It's been a long time since I opened the original Xbox game. Did you think there's a time where you opened the last original Xbox game you'd ever open?
I can't think of that time, but yeah, it's weird to think about. I have no idea what that'd even be.
On the PS1, through eBay, I got Parasite Eve and Parasite Eve 2. And Blaster Master Blasting Again on the PS1. The Xbox 360 got Dead Space 2. Mayhem, which is like a demolition derby game I've been looking for a while. It's worth a decent amount, too, for some reason. Lord of the Rings War in the North, another sealed 360 game. Be kind of cool to open that one.
Yeah.
Split Second. I noticed 360 stuff was starting to go up a little bit, so I had this like list of stuff I wanted to buy. Split Second, Wet. Ooh, Wet. Dead to Rights Retribution. Mini Ninjas. Blur. Chrome Hounds. Azura's Wrath, Devil May Cry HD Collection, Eternal Sonata, Crash of the Titans. This is a weird one. You ever heard of BCFX?
Don't think so.
Black College Football Experience.
Oh, yeah. I have, yeah. I haven't played it. I've heard of it.
What the weird one.
Uh-huh.
I was like, I have to buy this. And then got it. And it came with like a handwritten note from the seller, like just thanking me for buying this game. It's like a $4 game, with like no shipping either. And you remember those little like inserts, like where will you be when Jesus comes? Those like little things they leave everywhere.
Yeah.
He sent me one of those. Fucking, I really liked it. I sent a message back. Then Death Smiles. I'm real happy to finally get that one. It's a shmup. And 007 Bloodstone, another rare 360 game if you have it. 007 Quantum of Solace. The Hitman Collection, Clive Barker's Jericho, and then Splatterhouse. On the Xbox One, I got Goosebumps Dead of Night. WWE 2K Battlegrounds. Resident Evil Revelations. Darksiders War Master Edition. Micro Machine World Series. Dynasty Warriors 9. Northgard. Or Vikings Northgard, I think so. That's what that's called. Resident Evil Revelations 2. Inside and Limbo 2-pack. City Skylines Park Life Edition. Middle Earth Shadow of War. Onimusha Warlords. Lords of the Fallen. And then for $2, I bought Mass Effect Andromeda sealed.
Oh, yeah?
At fucking GameStop. So, do you have it?
I do.
Because if not, you should definitely go buy it for $2.
Yeah,
Brand
I have
new.
it.
Switch, I got Zoids Wild Blast Unleashed. Prinny 1 and 2. And then on PS4, Bubsy the Woolly Strike Back the Silver Case. I apologize, it's fucking really boring. Probably is. PS4 Knack 2. And then Genesis Tasmania and Forgotten Worlds. And then on the GameCube, this is it. Number 70, Mario Superstar Baseball.
That's a good game. No, it wasn't boring to me. That's just so much fucking shit.
Right? You should see the pile, because I have a pile of stuff I need to put in all my apps. 70 of those things just piled up in the corner. It's real fucking crazy. But you know, we bought a cheap-ass house. I don't have a car payment. I barely have any payments besides like some stuff. So I ball out in media.
No, I hear you.
I don't know why. I probably shouldn't.
I actually, I bought out this week too. I bought Hybroxia 2. I downloaded it.
Oh.
I think it was $8. I didn't get the physical on this one. Did you order it?
Mm-hmm.
You did?
Mm. I might have got 2
Okay.
each. So if you change your mind. I don't know, though. I don't remember exactly.
I debated it. I might end up winning one, but I was like, if he's going to make games this often and they're not going to be like tied to Sigma symbols, I don't know if I want to. I mean, I'll play all of them, but I might just get the download ones and then buy the physical ones that I really want. Because that's going to end up being a lot of money if I want all those. And it'll be cool to, I'm sure eventually, like having the collection you could, maybe worth something. Because it'll be so rare even if you don't care about calling. But I wanted to at least port them in some way, and I want to try the game. I haven't played Hybroxia 1, I'm not going to lie, but I know they're 2D shoot 'em ups, and there's not much story to it, so I figure this one would be better just as far as gameplay and everything. I think you build off the first one. You don't really need to play the first one. And at first, I really didn't know if I was liking it. I was fucking terrible at it, or at least I thought it. Maybe I still am bad, but I realized it's kind of a little bit like Metroidvania in the way that, not exactly, but Metroidvania usually what that means is that you go in a level and then there's parts that you can't get to till later and you have to come back. This one, I literally just kept failing over and over on the first mission. I was like, shit, this is what I expected with Twin Breaker. That's why I was worried about calling games, because I know he loves hard games. I was like, shit, Twin Breaker was really relaxing and kind of like Pac-Man, like it was super easy to pick up and play and then hard to like master if you want to be the best at it, but that's why I liked that you could play either way. This one I was just literally failing at over and over until I saw there's an upgrade system and you can add health, you can add bullets, and you get points even when you fail a mission. You get points for anything you collected in that. So even if you fail a mission 10 times in a row, then you're still making progress to make your ship stronger or more health to be able to go back into that level and have a way better attempt at it. Maybe, like I said, maybe I still am bad. Maybe most people beat it on their first try and then they get more points and just upgrade from there. But I was doing fucking terrible and I was like, I don't even know if I can keep playing this game until I found that. And I was like, okay, I don't really like doing this over and over, but at least that makes it playable if I do suck in it, and that's not the point of this game. The music's really cool. There's not too much to say about it. It's a 2D shoot 'em up. But I like Twin Breaker more, definitely. But well, I guess we could get into what I've been playing, because I've been playing that, kind of morphed into that, because that's the only pickup I had. But that, and then besides that, actually more of the Master Chief Collection. I plan to beat Uncharted 4 by the time of this podcast, but with the overtime, that didn't happen. So that's my goal by next week, is to at least beat Uncharted 4. But what have you been playing?
Battlefield 5, like we talked about on my little rant there. Man, I don't understand the hate it got.
I don't know if I ever played that one. Can't remember.
It's on Game Pass.
Okay.
It's a short campaign too. I really like the way they're telling the story. It's very similar to Battlefield 1. Starts off with a really creepy audio recording from was it Winston Churchill?
I feel like I did play this then.
It was like,
It sounds familiar.
"We are at war with Germany." You could hear like the "oh fuck" in his voice and shit, like knowing like, God damn, millions of people are about to die.
Yeah, this is one they'd use vignettes to tell a story, right?
Battlefield 1 did too, though.
Maybe I am mixing it up, because I wasn't the biggest fan of that, but I don't know if that was this one or not. I thought it was good, but I wasn't the biggest fan of that.
The campaign may be totally different, but there's like, as soon as you start up the game, it puts you like in these little vignettes about jumping around about World War II.
Okay.
But that sounds like you were talking about Battlefield 1, though.
All right.
But yeah, man, I'm really liking it. I'm dropping the multiplayer, messed around with that. I don't it's like Battlefield. They might have fixed some things, but I want to try Firestorm before that goes. I watch a lot of YouTubers play that. It's like, man, I want to try this out before it's super dead.
Mm-hmm.
Then I did the Disney's classic games, Aladdin and Lion King.
Mm-hmm.
How in the fuck did people ever beat those without the rewind feature?
Oh, I don't know. Even as a kid, like I said, I didn't play Aladdin that much, but Lion King I played endlessly, and I don't know if I got past like the first couple missions, but as a kid, I was like, this is fun, even though you're fucking doing the same thing over and over. But yeah, that game is hard as shit.
I just remember, I think stage 3 or 4 where the wildebeest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
like
I guess I got that far, I know. Yeah.
There's no getting further than that. But yeah, I don't know how you beat it without a Game Genie or the rewind feature. But I did beat both of them with the rewind feature. Yeah. Wow, these are cool, man. I wish more games did remasters like this, because not only did they have every version, like Game Boy, Sega Genesis, Nintendo, all that, they even had like Aladdin when they announced it, the demo that was given to the press. And they had documentaries, the soundtracks, like all these interviews with these guys in the 90s making the game. It's so fucking interesting. And actually, I got to the end of Aladdin, and I didn't save. There's no auto saves, and I forgot to save. And I was at the final boss, and I fucked up and had to replay the whole game again.
Damn.
To try to pop the achievement. And because you could even watch somebody play the game, speedrun the game, and then hop in whenever you want to. So I did that, and then the achievement didn't pop. So I was like, fuck it, I'll just play all of Aladdin again. And the achievement still didn't pop.
Huh.
So,
I was going to ask you, does rewinding it maybe deactivate achievements?
No, I was getting other achievements from rewinding. Yeah, I wish more remasters and older games got the same. Because, man, there is so much in there for what they are. I rarely recommend go play it.
Yeah,
watch all the documentaries.
Like I said, I wanted to play it, but I thought, I told you at the time, I thought for sure that would be the kind of game that just skyrocket, but it's still, you can buy it anywhere, so I was dead wrong with that. So I probably will open it, because I did want to play it, and it's kind of bothering me. But, no, I love that kind of stuff. I didn't know I had all the interviews and that kind of stuff. I think that would be cool, even more recent stuff. Yeah. Like, I think the issue is majority of people don't care about this stuff, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think they're like, I don't want to fucking watch this guy talk. I'm going to play a game. But I find this stuff super interesting. I think even a more modern games, it'd be cool to have like the Mass Effect trilogy, that built in. And can you imagine them going in depth with those kind of games? Or even like, it'd be cool to have that like when they're making a time and them talking about like the issues they had trying to make it remastered, or like what they're surprised by. And I remember, I told you when I pre-ordered Mass Effect how I got a disc, like a mini documentary. and I watched that over and over to get me hyped for the game coming out. I think that probably amplified and why I got so excited about Mass Effect before it came out.
You should pop this open, man, and give it a go then.
All right.
And God, these games are so much easier with the rewind feature, and you learn them.
Sure, yeah.
Even Aladdin's final boss, even with the rewind feature, was so fucking upsetting. Pissed me off so much. But yeah, I want a future where all the games get remade like this. It's done so well. And then, I think that's all I played. Battlefield 5 and the Disney's, both Aladdin and Lion King.
Okay.
And I wanted to relive it exactly how I, as a kid, so I was like, I gotta get snacks. And then we would play Cops on the right screen, and on the left would have been Lion King. So I went online and found episodes of Cops from like 98, 99 when we would have been doing this. Even had some with like a little bit of commercials in there on the right hand side, and then Lion King on the left hand side. It was great. And then I had 3D Doritos, pizza, and fucking Mountain Dew. It was like a little kid again.
Well, let us know what you guys been playing in the comments, and we can get into what you've been watching. I know you were watching Sonic. What do you think?
Yeah. Can you believe this movie's only a year old?
I told Danielle that a couple of days ago. No, I told Ryan on the podcast. So I told somebody.
Did you?
Yeah, I couldn't fucking. It's so weird to think about.
Fucking year old.
Because I saw it with Ryan. That had to be years ago, and I said that just shows it's the longest, shortest year ever. I'm always saying that, but
yeah, it blew my mind. It was in theaters a year ago. I could tell they put a lot of effort into this movie. They wanted it to be good. It wasn't a cash grab. I was hoping the intro there would be that Sega.
Yeah.
There was, but it was like an opera or some shit.
Yeah. I guess spoilers for the next like 5 minutes maybe, because we never got to really talk about this. Some of the stuff won't be spoilers, but just a heads up. I would have liked the classical one like that. I did really like the Paramount, like the rings instead of the Paramount circle or whatever you want to call it. I thought that was fucking awesome.
Yeah, and they had like little clips of all their games. Kind of like, are you going to make movies for all of these?
Yeah.
That'd be sick. My biggest issue with the movie is who the fuck would want to move from Montana to San Francisco? Why would you do that?
I feel like a lot of people in Montana will want to do that. I feel like a lot of people in San Francisco will want to move somewhere like Montana.
Yeah.
I feel like it's just always like here. I just want to go somewhere hot, and then they're in hot places. I want to go somewhere cold.
I just love Montana.
Yeah.
If I could move all my friends and family to Montana, that's one of my favorite states. It's gorgeous. Property's cheap. The fuck would you want to go to San Francisco? Especially as a police officer. Holy shit.
Yeah.
Which someone wanting to like move from Montana to go be a police officer in San Francisco is like less believable than an interdimensional cartoon Sonic in the real life. I knew that Tails part was coming.
Did you?
Yeah, that was cool.
It spoiled, or you just like?
No. I was like, I guarantee they're gonna hint around at this. And as stupid as I sound, as dumb as I sound, I kind of got a little cold chills when it finally did happen.
I didn't get cold chills, but no, I was fucking so excited.
I was like, oh, this is gonna be Tails, Renee. It's gonna be Tails. And there he was.
Yeah, I guess I knew it when that scene started, but I was like, they're really not going to have him? I thought he'd pop up somewhere. So by then, I was like, he's, I guess, not in here.
That's exactly what happened to me.
Oh, okay. I was really hoping they would go fucking full-on troll mode. And because you always see the back of him, holy shit, it's Tails. And then it flips around. Did you ever see the version somebody made of him, what he'll look like when they originally designed Sonic?
No.
Somebody made a fucking horrifying version of what Tails would look like. I really wish they just went full fucking troll mode and, oh my god, and everybody reacting in the crowd and the camera whips around and just looks horrifying like Sonic did.
Yeah.
Oh, we're back here again.
Also, he knew Sonic was there. Does that mean like Sonic, he knows who Sonic is? Did
I
Sonic
think so.
go to another dimension and lost his memory or something? Like, I don't get it. But it was just a dumb kids movie storyline.
Yeah.
But besides that, I loved everything about it. I mean, Jim Carrey's a little annoying sometimes.
Really? I thought that going into it, and I really didn't like his character design until you see. Did you wait for the second after credit?
Yeah, yep.
And I was like, okay, they're like morphing him into as like the start of his craziness.
Yeah.
So it was weird because I was worried about that going into it, but he actually convinced me more. There was a few annoying parts like I don't know. I remember at the time I was like, that's a little much. But overall, I actually liked him.
Yeah, it was a good movie. Did you see today too? They finally released the first teaser for the sequel.
Oh, I didn't.
Yeah, it wasn't much. You're not missing much. It was just literally like it showed the Sonic logo and then 2 popped up and that was about it.
There's rumors about Knuckles being in it. He was always my favorite.
April 2022.
Okay.
Yeah, a little teaser. There wasn't much to it, but it was cool. It was the name announcement, which is just literally Sonic 2.
I think my biggest issue was the same issue I had going into it. I think they did it well for what it was, but I always thought it was weird they set it into the real world because that's not how you saw Sonic. Like that first scene where he's like in whatever you want to call it. What the fuck do they call it?
Green Zone?
Yeah, Green Hill Zone. Like that area, I was like, this just fits Sonic so much better. It looks like the cartoon or the show brought to like current animation style. So I feel like put him in the real world, it definitely added some humor. I think got a lot of people that wouldn't care about Sonic just be like, oh, this is a fun movie. But I think everything would have seemed more natural if it was just all animated and in that world. Like when Tails was flying, I was like, this looks so much more like Sonic.
Yeah.
I thought it was weird way to take that to begin with.
Renee didn't know about the delay in like remaking.
Oh, really?
So I was like, oh, this would be a great time to see if find someone that's not swayed by the internet. And I showed her side by side. She's like, what the fuck?
Did I ever tell you Danielle's reaction?
No.
Talking about being swayed by the internet. She's like, I don't think it looks bad. But no, I think you're seeing the new one. No, I see the old one. I guess the new one looks a little better, but I think it looks fine. That thing is fucking horrifying.
Yeah. Yeah, Renee was like, oh, Renee was very thankful that. And Renee's not super into Sonic, and she really liked it and was excited for the sequel. But the other thing I watched was Fire in the Sky, the one I mentioned. Mm-hmm. It came out in 1993. It's about the true story alien abduction of D.B. Sweeney. This is an insane story if you watch. This guy that was out in the middle of Arizona clearing out logging stuff, and essentially they ran into a UFO, and he gets abducted, and he's gone for a few days, and they're searching around. They think his friends killed him, and the police were like, we're investigating this as a murder, and they hid the body somewhere in the fucking woods. And then randomly, the guy they think is the murderer just gets a phone call in the middle of the night, and it's a payphone of the guy, like, it's basically saying, like, hey, I'm back, or whatever, and they find him, and he's naked, like 5 days later at a gas station, and he claims that he was on a UFO and woke up in the middle of a test and saw aliens, and the aliens left and transformed to human form to make him relax, and it's nuts. He did Joe Rogan's podcast. There's a documentary on him. There's a book, and there's this movie. It's the most believable alien abduction story I've ever heard. I think it's just interesting. When I say most believable alien abduction story, I'm still like, I don't know, man. I don't know. But there's nothing this guy would have gained from lying like this. I mean, besides, what's happened in his life now. But before that, they were all like straight edge, blue collar loggers, that conservative, like they had no reason to do this. And like I said, up to like 5 days before he was being investigated as a murderer. So, and he was also soon to be son-in-law, I believe. So there was no reason for him to do this. I don't know. It's really interesting. Just look into it. You don't have to believe it, but
yeah,
the documentary and the movie are both available on almost all the streaming services.
Okay.
But yeah, and then Clone Wars, the TV series.
Mm-hmm.
And then reading-wise, I finished the first Game of Thrones book.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, it's fucking nuts, man. I knew what happens, but I still get so fucking pissed off at it.
Was that the audiobook too? Or?
Yeah. He's a really good author, man. Really, I don't know. He writes bad guys so well, to the point you get pissed off. I have to take breaks reading it or listening to it because fucking, I get so mad, dude. His bad guys are just perfect.
I hear you. The only thing I've been watching, or that I watched, was me and Danielle went to the theater to see Lord of the Rings in IMAX.
Oh.
Fellowship of the Ring. She's never seen... Well, she said she saw 3, but doesn't really remember it.
Oh, I was going to say, that sucks, but then good thing she don't remember it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think she remembers, like, a couple characters, but I don't think she could tell you anything that happened. I didn't know this movie never released on IMAX. I would have told you I saw it in IMAX.
Really?
Yeah. But this is the first time they've ever released it, so they're showing one each week, or starting last week they showed Fellowship of the Rings, and next week will be Two Towers, and then Return of the King the week after that. So we're going to try and see each of them each week to be able to watch them all. It's been a long time since I've even seen them, so I'm excited to see them, and now that I know I've never seen them in my IMAX.
Director's cut?
No, which I mean, it'd be cool to see it like that, but I told her before that I was like, yeah, a lot of Lord of the Rings fans will tell you that's the only way you can watch it and that they're unwatchable without it. I think that adds context, and if you're really into it, I like them more, but I think the movies stood on their own, and
100%.
Yeah, I was going to say I didn't watch them, but I don't know what happened, or I don't like this movie because of this. And I was just like, I love Lord of the Rings, so more is cool to me. I think somebody like her that this isn't like her type of thing. I think adding 40 minutes of more context, and when I like this movie, so those are drawn out, especially the first one. I don't remember being so slow. I don't mind those slow. It's built
It's so slow.
Yeah, it was way worse than I remember, not in quality, but as far as slowness. And it makes sense because a trilogy, and they get way more action-packed as it goes on. But, well, I guess I'll say as I watch them, but I feel like from what I remember, Two Towers is my favorite, and I think this would have to be my least favorite, but I still like them, all 3 of them.
Exactly how I feel.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. It was funny, though, that I told her that, and I was like, yeah, you'll get the snobs. I'm like, yeah, this isn't the extended cut, and the movie fucking ended, and people were clapping, which is kind of cool to hear. Actually be able to hear people in the theater again. It wasn't packed or anything, but more people than I've seen in the theater for a while, which is funny because it's one of the oldest movies I've seen in the theater for a while. But people clapped, and then these 3 fucking nerds behind us. He's like, what the hell was that? Dude, what do you mean? I mean, when we watched that before, did they not show the extended cut? Well, no, I think that was just the base film. No wonder it was trash.
Trash.
I was like, oh my fucking God.
I feel like they don't think it's trash. They just want to let you know that they know something. God damn it. Yeah. Yeah, I'd probably prefer the theatrical version, and especially for the third one, that motherfucker runs on, and then especially when you add in Peter Jackson's cut,
I think
it really runs on.
The one that drags on the most, even though it's my favorite, is the second one because
really,
yeah, just because. Do you remember the ending? I thought it was gonna end like 5 times when I literally remember going, all right, that's the end, and then like he puts his hand around Sam. I guess spoiler, Sam's still alive. Danielle. But I just literally thought, I didn't have an issue with that. It's my favorite, but it just felt like the way they're pacing it, like it was supposed to end like 5 times.
Do you remember the third one, though? They kind of do that as well. Well, you don't think it's the end, but...
Yeah, maybe I'll feel different watching them. I know that's how I felt at the time, for sure.
I think the reason they're promoting that, they just released all of them on 4K, too. Box set.
Makes sense, yeah.
I think you get The Hobbit, too, with the... I think they're going to release The Hobbit soon. Or they already did. I can't remember.
I gotcha.
Kind of holding out. My mom got me the box set Blu-ray sealed at Goodwill for $2, man.
Oh, very nice.
I know. I'm so happy. But I've been bugging Renee to watch them, but her attention span's terrible, and she fucking hates anything fantasy, so I don't think it's going to go over well.
Yeah, Danielle said she didn't. She said it definitely wasn't bad, but she said she felt it wasn't completely her thing. I think once Golem comes in, it'll be more her thing.
I was going to say, I bet she'll love Golem.
And I'm not going to lie, he was my favorite as a kid.
Really?
Yeah, I used to I just think I did fucking amazing impressions. Maybe I did, but I doubt it. I just think I fucking nailed his impressions and do it all the time. But no, I think he's hilarious. I don't think he's just like cutesy. I think like the mind ballad goes on to him is awesome. And then you just got his fucking antics. But yeah, no, I think that will bring her in a lot more. But also, those movies are way more action packed. And that's the weird thing. That's the thing that loses her attention more is the action.
Oh, damn.
Not the drawn outness. I feel like that. I like it, but that's, if anything, that's what would lose my attention more. Like, okay, come on. But that's all I've been watching besides some like random, some game like Blue Jackets games and YouTube and whatnot. So let us know what you guys been watching in the comments, and then we can go into the free games if you want.
Yeah.
So on Xbox, you have Indiana Jones and the Emperor's Tomb till February 28th on the original Xbox. On 360, you have starting February 16th till February 28th, Lost Planet 2. And on Xbox One, you have Resident Evil and Gears 5 till February 28th.
Dang.
And then starting February 16th till March 15th, you have Dendara Trials of Fear Edition. And then on PlayStation Plus, you have Control Ultimate Edition and Concrete Genie till March 1st. And PS5, Destruction All-Stars till April 5th. And then, should we get into the second and last game show of the day?
Let's do it. Dude, all those games you mentioned are great games.
Yeah, they,
killing it this month.
yeah, I was going over it. Even though they're not all particular games I liked, I can't be like, yeah, it's a shitty game. So, yeah, I think those are all pretty good choices. All right, so this one was submitted by Ryan, like I said, and you guys are welcome to play along. Let us know when you figure it out or if we stumped you. These are created by Ryan's. You ready for your first one?
Let's do it.
All right. He says, a real-time strategy game released in 2001.
I got 2 guesses.
Yeah, 2 guesses, yep. Are you already going to take one?
Yeah.
Oh, God. All right.
StarCraft.
Nope.
Fuck. What year was StarCraft? I wonder.
The original StarCraft?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was a lot older than, well, I guess 2001. That's a long time ago. It's so weird how time does that to us. Yeah,
98.
Oh, okay, so it was a little before. All right. 2. Export Earth-like planet named PNF-404.
No fucking idea.
That's why I was laughing when I was reading it. All right, you ready for 4 then?
Yeah.
There's 5 games in the franchise.
5 games in the franchise. Real-time strategy. This is a popular game?
I feel like you'd yell at me for answering, but yes.
Okay.
So that's not fucking Clue.
Okay, keep the next one.
All right. Main characters' names are Olimar and Louis.
What the fuck? No idea. Keep going.
Really? I told him that might be the one to give away.
Wait, really? Okay, let me think about it. It's real-time strategy.
He even had me move him around. That was actually his number 3. And he's like, oh, we'll swap that with 4 then.
Next one.
All right. Gameplay combines action platformer with puzzles.
What? I thought this was real-time strategy. The fuck? 2001. I don't know.
All right, next one.
Yeah.
The next release in the series has been in the making for many years.
I have an idea, but it's not a real-time strategy.
Do you want to wait then? I think these clues might help you a lot, which is kind of a clue in itself.
Yeah, go ahead.
Made by Shigeru Miyamoto.
Oh, okay.
And that's clue 7.
It started in 2001, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
Pikmin.
Is that your guess?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Pikmin.
Yeah, duh. Fuck.
And then,
2001, really? That old?
Yeah, because it launched with the GameCube.
Okay.
That was my first game, that and Luigi Mansion.
Fuck, dude. That threw me off for a second because, like, how you can't have that in a real-time strategy. But yeah, that game is totally.
Yeah. No, it does sound weird, though.
Fuck. That was a good one.
The next three were Nintendo exclusive. You gotta...
Miyamoto, that was kind of the same thing, though, right?
Yeah. You gotta pack up before sunset every day, and then play with plant hybrid creatures.
Yeah, that was a good one, man. There was some good ones there. That, man, yeah, I was thinking Abe's Odyssey or something like that.
Yeah, I can see that.
Is there really 5 of them?
Yeah, because there's 3 and then 2 spin-offs.
Oh, like on 3DS?
DS.
Yeah. Wow, that was a good one. Also, I really got to piss.
That was so that's 6 points for you. 3 and then doubled, so 6 points. So
Look at that.
we're even today.
Boom.
All right. Well, any fake outrage?
Nope.
All right. We're going to do the $50 gift card, but only Ryan and Derek replied. So hopefully neither of you mad. I'm going to split it so we both get something. So
Aw.
25 each. I feel like this is Ferris way since there's only 2 people. I feel like it's kind of weird to do you get all. So thanks for tuning in again. We'll be here next week. Well, Cody won't. Ryan will be here. The first time a return guest.
Woo-hoo.
Hopefully it's not a complete train wreck this time.
That's not a train wreck. I'm really fucking enjoying it so far.
That's how I know it's a train wreck, because I know what you enjoy. As always, you can follow us on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook at Current Backlog, and you can email any corrections, questions, and feedback to currentbackloggers@gmail.com. Ready to clap us out?
Beautiful.